When did you tell me you was taking a nap?
I didn't.
How was I supposed to know that?
Oh, well, I mean, I told you that I did that. Like when I came, like it was in this. It was during this conversation.
Oh, it must have been when I put my headphones on.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah, it's alright.
Are you sure, bro? Because we was like talking.
Well, I was saying shit, but I had to push my output, and I can hear shit coming out the headphones.
You know,
I'm like,
right. I showed you accept that BS answer.
It's not BS.
Like,
real.
I'm like, damn, am I tripping?
It's real life shit.
I feel like, damn. Is it me?
I'm serious, bro. It's either that or my disability kicking in.
Nigga.
My disability kicking in.
You weren't putting no headphones in when you said that, game.
You don't know that. You don't see my life.
That's crazy.
Yeah, damn.
Damn. He was genuinely confused, bro.
I'm genuinely confused. I ain't hear the shit.
But that's just because you don't listen.
Listen, I swear, y'all niggas think that I be selective all the time. Sometimes coincidences just happen.
I get why it's funny because like we was talking and I was like, yeah, I took your advice and I took a nap too. That's why I was talking about why I'm in the middle of a Fallout episode. Yeah. And then he was like, wait, you done napped or what? Huh?
Oh, okay. My headphones were on at that point.
See? You just weren't listening.
I just didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Look, man, I try my best. Okay,
I try my hardest.
Try my fucking best.
All that matters, gang.
Good God Almighty, are we getting into this?
I can fucking wing it. I don't know who's
gonna wing it.
It was supposed to be bad.
Well, I did it last week.
Huh?
Yeah, I did.
Oh wait, you know it makes sense because after when we started rotating, the first person was Striker, so it would be Strikers, I guess, since you did it last week. That's why none of us prepared. Yeah.
No, I think it goes back to Rain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I can read it. Y'all can wing it. I don't give a fuck.
No, do your thing. Go ahead.
Right, do you want to take it or I'll take it? I'll take it.
Go ahead.
Either one.
It's episode 11.
11, right? Okay, cool. I sure was gonna ask. What's up, internet? Welcome back or welcome to the Summit Podcast with your favorite 4 digital athletes here to talk to you about all pop culture, gaming culture, music culture, anime, whatever we're into, whatever we're feeling, that's what we're going to share with the people and with nothing but the honest truth. So I'm sitting here with my co-host, actually, getting before myself. Let me introduce myself just in case. I'm Razor. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch, mostly Twitch right now. I don't have big YouTube projects in the works or away from it. Razor SJS on YouTube and Twitch. And with me are 2 of my lovely co-hosts. We're missing one again, unfortunately, but we'll get there. First and foremost, you know him. It's your boy Ashy. Talk to the people.
Nigga, preach. Yeah. What up, y'all? It's week 11. We back. Consistent. That's the word of the year this year. All right. I ain't got much to say. Hopefully we got a good show for y'all.
Yes, sir. Hey, short and sweet. That's how we love our business meetings. Next up is the man himself, Rain, aka CJ. Speak your piece.
It's your boy, Rain. You know what I mean? You can find me live on Twitch most of the time. And we got a lot of content coming y'all way soon, guys. So
yeah.
And my fault. You can believe our word. I was just co-signing. That's it. You got.
No, yeah, appreciate it.
I bet. And last but not least, Mr. Not Here, the legendary Almighty Striker, who could not make it to today's recording. So, moment of silence for him. He'll be back next week, hopefully. But for him, of course, you can find him at the Almighty Striker on YouTube and mostly Twitch. He's mostly a Twitch streamer over YouTube video. So be sure to check him out. And, if you've been here and listened to us, you know him. So that brings us into episode 11. Ashley, why don't you take it away because I didn't open the show notes yet.
Got you. While you open up the show notes, I got something to say. I got a little message for Striker. This is just a test to see if This is just a test to see if he actually, listens to the show, if he plays it back. Striker, if you listening to this, I need you to type what should he type in the chat?
You should tell him to boost the server.
Striker, if you listening to this, you should boost the server because you're like 1/4 of the owner of the server, and like you don't boost it. So I feel like that's like fucked up, honestly. Like we trying to get to level 3 and you still don't boost this shit. That's crazy. That's real crazy. That actually good fucking point. That's crazy. That shit wild, bro. Matter of fact, we need what 5 more boosts. We need 5 boosts from you just to make it up. All right.
Oh shit.
So that's your homework. All right, no, I saw love. Wish Striker could be here, but he can't. We got some content for y'all tonight. I say tonight because we recording tonight, but y'all will be hearing this in the morning or night or evening, depending on what time y'all turn on the podcast. That giveaway, y'all. I think we should like kind of adjust our little conditions. We're not getting too much response on our little village board, and I think that's because people don't read, bro. So like, what do y'all think we should do?
You mean for the MK thing, right? Yeah.
Anything really?
Anything. Yeah.
Giveaway. I don't give a fuck. We can talk about it here. Fuck it. We got time.
Because I was thinking, we got decent reactions to the MK thing, but of course, that's just people who react to it. Who's gonna show is a whole other thing, right? And also some of us are repeat reactions. Now that I think see it, but I was thinking, so this probably can't work actually this could work for the giveaway because we do have a couple people in here that we do know and trust and like talk to more or less, week on a pretty consistent basis, and they could probably be interested in giveaways. So I was thinking maybe just start small. Like if we do a tournament, we can do it with people we know and legit give a prize if one of us doesn't win. I don't know, but start small, just get the traction and stuff going. Because I do understand that, like it probably is hard to trust a random small tournament on a Discord server, and then also just it's not professional, so there's no real drive on it. Yes, I get it. So I feel like we just gotta get that shit going first. You know what I mean?
Do you think we should still do the tournament, or do you think we should possibly try to grow a little bit more as far as I don't know.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
grow a little more.
First, like if we do any type of tournament right now, that was the ones I talked about, like friends and people we know in the server. So it'd be like really small if we did it. But if we do want to do it with people joining and strangers, then we do probably need to grow a little bit more first, or make sure it's structured. Because the giveaway was more like we more went into it than we thought. So a tournament or hosting something official would probably be way bigger. You feel me?
Yeah, true.
Just things we're not foreseeing.
I kind of just. Oh, what was you gonna say, Harry?
No, I'm agreeing. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, do y'all want to do that for May, or is that kind of like a short timeline from now? Because I know
for the tournament, like the friendly tournament amongst friends.
Yeah. You want to do that this month for the giveaway, or do y'all want to push that to like so we kind of gone a week in June, so we can still do in June, I guess.
I think we can do it this month. This month? I think 3 weeks out would be good. I wouldn't say next weekend. Well, if not next weekend, 2 weeks out for real from today. I think we could do it, but next weekend is definitely like Mother's Day.
It is, ain't it? Shit.
Yes, it is.
I forget that every year.
We can do 2 or 3 weeks out, and if we do this, we can record it and it could be one of the first like gameplay type things we post on our YouTube channel or something like that.
That could be true.
Yeah.
Well,
anytime we host, we can have it recorded and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I guess so. Yeah, we can do like a little small little tournament. Whoever comes out. Well, I guess it'll mainly probably be like us and our friends. Yeah. And we'll still keep it fair, open it for everybody. But if you don't come, you don't come. That's fine. We still matching for the giveaways, like PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, whatever.
I guess we were imagining the tournament was going to be a little bigger, or at least more people will sign up. So I guess that depends on the turnout. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah, and if it's just us with small friends, then we don't do that much, I imagine.
True. I mean, so if y'all listening to this, man, look, we got $75 on the line for at least PlayStation. Like that's stellar blade for you. I know y'all horny. I know y'all want to play it. Like there it is. It's on the table. So if you're listening to this, go ahead and join the Discord, man. We're trying to give away some free stuff for y'all. All right, you can't turn down free.
How many V-Bucks that is? I know y'all.
Not many V-Bucks that is. That's crazy. It's a lot of V-Bucks.
A lot of V-Bucks. A lot.
Or if you play Overwatch 2, that's a battle pass.
Don't give them that money.
Please don't. Or shit. Smite 2. Smite 2's out.
There you go. Yeah.
You won't be able to get the
money.
Yeah, I might use it actually. Shit. Go ahead and buy Smite 2. Shit. Yeah, shit. Actually, that was a good segue because Smite 2 is actually on the top of the show notes and it's part of the game releases. So like I said, welcome back to episode 11, y'all. We got some game releases for y'all today. Since we're talking about Smite 2, go ahead and we're currently going through a alpha that started May 2nd. What's today? May 3rd. So it started yesterday. So the alpha started on Smite 2, but there's a catch. It's not free. Don't get me wrong, the game when it releases will be free, and the game releases July 30th of this year. But right now, the alpha, beta, whatever you're fucking calling it, is starting out at $30. But with that $30, you get full access to the game. Of course, when a game comes out, you have full access to the God Pack. Also, and let me pull this up so I don't give misinformation. On the specs for the edition, so there's going to be a Founders Edition. There's going to be a standard edition, a deluxe, and an ultimate. So the standard is going to start you out at $29.99. The deluxe is going to start you out at $59.99, and of course, the ultimate is North Short Feet. It's going to start you out at $99.99. Of course, with that ultimate, you get. I'm pulling it up right here for y'all. With that ultimate pack, you're looking at, well, the Founders Editions, you're getting, let me start with the Founder. So the Founder Basic, you're starting off with the full Smite 2 full game access. It includes all the gods forever. You get the Founder's avatar badge and title. You get the Smite 2 Ymir skin. There's a Cackle Demon Ymir skin. You get 2-time double legacy gems. So, I mean, that's your basic. For the Founders Edition, Deluxe, you get all of those, plus Cross-Gen Night Stalker Neath skin, and Ascension passes for 11 Alpha launch weekend gods. So, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's for their Battle Pass or something like that. Not worth an extra $20, but hey, if you got the money like that, you balling, go ahead. And if you really got the money and you balling, I'm talking about big balling, go ahead and pick up that Ultimate Edition. You get everything I just mentioned, plus a Tier 5 Cross-Gen the Fallen Zeus skin. You get an Ultimate Edition avatar badge and title, and then you get an Ascension pass for the first 23 Alpha gods. Like I said, I'm not sure what that means yet. I haven't played Smite 2. This Ascension pass, I don't even think it's in Smite, so that's a new thing they got going on. So if all of those interest you, go ahead and pick up Smite 2. It's on Steam right now. It's pretty sure is it on PlayStation? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me if it's on console, but it's definitely on Steam. So if you're interested in all those, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it is, because I had some
on console
playing it. Yeah.
Okay, bet. So I guess that it is available on console too if anybody's trying to pick it up. So, my opinion, a Tier 5 skin is not worth $100. That's actually kind of the amount you pay though, ain't it? Almost.
Actually, it's usually like 70.
It's like 70, huh?
So I guess but the other things too, I guess. And I just looked up this Ascension Pass. It looks like the Ascension Pass is Smite 2's version of the God track, like the God Mastery track.
Oh really?
Yeah. So like,
so you get
unlocking rewards. So I guess you get, you get to start at a certain level with CSO. You can now
23 gods
and start getting even more extras.
Damn.
Yeah, because your progress from Smite ain't gonna carry over. So I guess we're all gonna be rank 1 with all our gods, man.
I'm actually liking that though, because I think that's what's gonna push us back into Smite just a little bit. Because I do like Smite, but it's been out so long, and the community is very niche. If you're in the mobile community, like, you kind of settle within your MOBA, and a lot of people pick Smite. And it's just so toxic. But I feel like this is gonna give like a nice little refresh on the community. A lot of new players, I feel, and maybe we can enjoy it for about a year. Maybe more. You never know. But I guess that's about a good price then for the Ultimate Edition, because essentially you're paying $30 for the God Pack and then an extra $70 for the Tier 5 skin, because that's usually how it goes in Smite. You pay like that little it's about $70 for the Tier 5 skins and stuff. But usually it comes with more content too, though. That's why I think it's
like all the other skins of the season, pretty much, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they give you damn near about like 20 skins and shit, and they're actually really good. So I don't know. That seems kind of like but hey, if you got the money, go ahead and pick it up. We got some confirmation on a Kingdom Hearts 4. So this got strikers dig a little hard, you know.
I was saying, he's not here to. I was gonna say, damn, he's not here to talk about it. That's such a shame. This would have been his thing, boy.
Right? Hey, he mentioned it too. He's like, Kingdom Hearts 4? I'm like, yeah, man, it's coming. Got a possible May 2025 release. And we'll pull up an article about it because I'm not into Kingdom Hearts, honestly. I watched y'all play it and I was like, fuck no, I'm not playing that shit. Did y'all end up finishing it?
No. Bro, we were only playing it because of a bet and he wasn't upholding his end. So it was like, I'm not gonna play through this.
He really wasn't. Fuck it. So yeah, it's got I guess some insiders said that the game is reportedly releasing in 2025. So if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan and you're looking for that, I guess that what is it for? That 4th edition, go ahead and get your hopes up for next year's release. Because it's confirmed, but no release date's confirmed. So go ahead and get excited about that. Hellblade Divers. Well, Hellblade.
Blade.
Damn it. Well, yeah. Well, I see Hellblade on the show notes, but I put it down a little further because it's technically in the Game Pass too. But we'll touch upon it right now. Then Hellblade 2 is the next installment to the Hellblade saga. It's coming to Game Pass day 1. So if you have Game Pass and you're looking to pick this game up, and I'm pretty sure everybody on Xbox has Game Pass, it's a day 1 launch on Game Pass. So it's really no excuse not to try it. The first one is also on Game Pass, so if you're looking for a good storyline, go ahead and pick this game up. The 2nd edition is supposed to pick up a little bit too on its combat. So the gameplay is going to be a little bit more interesting as well. So if there's something that floats your boat, go ahead and look into that. There's really no excuse not to. It's free. That's one thing I like about the Game Pass. Like all of their exclusives pretty much are available day 1 on their Game Pass, and that's releasing May 21st. Since I mentioned Helldivers, there's a lot of controversy right now in the Helldivers community. Yeah,
them dudes,
bro, they review bombed it.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. It goes to show just how like easy it is to vilify something for no reason on the internet.
No reason,
like, bro. Like if you're someone who doesn't know jack shit about Helldivers and you try to check it out because it's like it's fun or whatever, and see all these terrible ass reviews and it's probably bad when realistically they just review bombing because they don't want to link or make a PlayStation account. Like, bro,
yeah,
that's so childish, bro. You know what I'm saying? And who brought up this good? Rain, that was you who brought up a good point. It's like, remember when Blizzard made console players merge their shit with a Blizzard account to continue to play Overwatch?
Yep.
Nobody batted an eye.
They did not.
The players have to do it. It's like, whoa. I was like, bro, calm down. It's just like 2 minutes.
That was Kevin.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It was Kevin. Yeah, okay.
And it's just like,
Sea of Thieves did that. I would use that as an example because that was a game that came over to PlayStation.
Yeah,
Microsoft forced everybody to have an Xbox account, but they made that comparison you just talked about as well. This happened multiple times, so it's not like a huge issue.
I feel like it happens with a lot of games, though.
Potentially,
I don't see the issue with it. It's just an extra step. I saw these memes. They were like, y'all PC players sitting up here doing all this shit for mods, but y'all can't connect the PlayStation account. And I thought that was kind of funny. I'm like, yeah, true. I mean, it just shows you niggas just like to complain about something. It's not really a big deal. And most of them probably have PlayStation accounts, so just it's just something to bitch about. But review bombing it on Steam it's really wild.
Like that shit don't stop you from playing the game, bro, or changes the game at all.
It doesn't, right? It doesn't at all. And I don't know. That was just very stupid to me. The gamers are just, I don't know. I don't even know a word to describe them these days.
Entitled, I guess.
Yeah. I did want to. I don't know. It's kind of bogus though, like the way they review bombing, because I'm not too big of a Helldivers 2 fan, but I know millions of people are, and I have to give it to them. Like the studio, they've been very consistent with their updates. Like I think that is a big push as to why that game is so successful. Because if it just came out the way it came out, people would have had their fun with it for like a month or two, And if they didn't release the content that they release or just have the player engagement that they have, I think the game would have fell off. But since they like every week I see something updating about Helldivers. Like I'm not that interested in it, so I skip over it a lot, but I do see a lot of updates, a lot of additional content coming to the game almost, if not once a week, if not twice a week, once a week at the least. And they're always passionate. They're always like engaging with the player base. They're very active with their game. And I feel like that's a very big reason that the game is so successful as it is. And a lot, you don't see a lot of games really doing that. Like, I see Overwatch as an example of how you can pretty much keep updating the game, but you're not listening to your player base, and you're just kind of pushing out the same shit. Like the skins they drop, right? Like you told me that these are skins that you already have, and skins that were released in Overwatch 1, but they're sitting here selling them, you know, skins that you got for free.
$20, yeah.
Exactly. And they sell it for 20, and it's like people buy it because they took it off the store. You know, I feel like that's lazy. But so I got to give it to the developers over there with Helldivers because they do an outstanding job with the content. It keeps their player base, especially like their die-hardcore player base, just coming back and just putting hundreds of hours into the game.
It just goes to show just how much negativity outshines the positive. Like, you know how many dev teams aren't doing any of that shit and listening to their players and all that, but they doing all that. But like, this one negative thing that's really not negative, like we discussed about. Oh, review bomb it for what, bro?
Review bomb, I swear. And it's the same game at the end of the year when the Game Awards come up. They're gonna be wanting it to be Game of the Year, but they sit up here review bombing it for some stupid shit. Like I don't know, bro. It's just the player base is just so spoiled that anything that doesn't any inconvenience to them is just an automatic catastrophe.
So funny, bro, because like you going out of your way to review bomb the game, probably.
But you can't sign up for the PlayStation.
Well, yeah, it probably took longer than what it would have to create a PlayStation account and link it, bro. You really went out of your way to spend more time doing unnecessary shit. It's like, so like that's why it's very important, people, to have your own opinion and go look for shit yourself. Hear about the news, then go look it up later and read it yourself because you can't take everybody's word at heart. You gotta form your own opinion, see the other side. You know, two sides to every story. Everybody has their version. You gotta form your own opinions out here because you could be someone who's like knows nothing about Helldivers 2, see those negative reviews and just miss out on a potentially amazing game for you. You know,
you really can, man. It's common sense ain't common, dude. It's just it's not common sense. It should not be called common sense anymore. Like I'm a firm believer in that. I think they should drop the common. It's just sense, and a lot of people don't have it.
I don't even think in this scenario it's like a common sense thing. I think it's more of a mob mentality. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, I don't like this. Oh, me neither. And then they all group up with their pitchforks and shit and try to do something about it. And it's just like, bro, it's just so easy to be a villain on the internet, and so most people are.
Yeah, but if people had more critical thinking skills, they wouldn't be so cheap.
Yeah, but the way, not today.
Why form my own opinion and use my brain and turn the hamster wheels when I can just, easily just copy what he's saying, not read into anything, not look into anything. And like you said, waste your time, sit up here review bombing something. Probably spend about 15 minutes on that review when you could have just spent, an easy like 45 seconds just signing into your PlayStation account. Or, an extra 2 minutes if you don't have one, creating one. It's really not that difficult. I know. But speaking of that though, did you see, I know Ramsey touched about it earlier, but did you look into the MKBHD? So I didn't see the full video yet, but I saw Philip DeFranco talk about it a little bit. So apparently MKBHD, for all of you who don't know, you should though. He's like literally the biggest tech reviewer on YouTube. Pretty iconic in the industry. He, I guess, made a negative review on a product because it was half baked. Like it didn't come out with like half the shit that it was advertising, and so like a content creator should do, he gave an honest opinion on it, an honest review, and it was negative. And so the backlash to that was, oh, like you're such a big influencer in the community. Why would you say these things about this product? You can cause them to really go under. And it was just like, well, what do y'all want? I mean, y'all want him to lie? Like, what do y'all what we doing? And so I just thought that was kind of funny how even when you have some truth, people, I don't know, people find a reason to just backlash anything, man. And I feel like that's why we have and that's the same thing in the gaming community. Like he was MKBHD was saying, it's the same thing in the tech world right now. It's the same thing in the gaming community. It's just like a lot of these products are being released and they're being released not finished, and they're promising you all these updates, they're promising you all these features, and they don't come, or they come late, and they come later than when you were told, but you're still paying the full price for them. You're still paying, what price of a cell phone these days. The average price of a cell phone these days is like $700, and if you're getting into the top tiers of the cell phones, it's over $1,000. You're still paying these full prices for these products. Same thing with the games, and you're not getting anything. You're not getting what you're promised, and you're getting like shit quality out of it. And I feel like that's the reason why a lot of these content creators, you can't trust them, because they're just giving up these bullshit reviews that people want to hear, but it's not the truth. So I just thought that was funny how people were sitting there bashing him for giving an honest review on a product, when I thought that was his job. And I thought that's what people came to, these reviews for, to get an honest perspective on what that product has to offer. So I just thought that was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, they tripping, bro. I'd much rather a content creator tell me something dog shit, because at least I know he's being honest. You know what I mean?
You would think that, and that's what I thought too.
Like, yeah, because nowadays I'll skip over like a video if I see that it's sponsored, because like, oh no.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, this isn't what you really think.
Yeah, no, I don't trust any reviews that's sponsored. No, not happening. Not happening. Oh, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of like a little funny take. I'm like, man,
yeah, yo, it just shows that mentality, the mob mentality, the echo chamber, the just one negative thing just outshines everything else. It's just, you got to be in your own bubble, your own lane, your own opinions, because these mobs are dangerous, bro. They can like really dismantle games and shows and content creators and just take them down for nothing, really.
Oh, dude, they can.
They can. 100%. It's so crazy, and it's like, I know this is like way out of left field, but just for the internet to be a place, or them want to turn the internet and all that into a place of acceptance. Whenever someone disagrees with a different opinion, that motherfucker gets taken right the fuck off the internet, taken down,
immediately.
And it's like, damn, what happened to all that acceptance shit, bro? As soon as someone has a different opinion, out the window.
And it goes back to what you were saying like a few weeks ago on the show. Like, it's that I think we did it to ourselves, because it's like we need such quick content, and so I think that's what it's forcing these industries to push products out faster and faster. But the technology isn't really keeping up. Like, if I'm talking more about the tech industry, the technology isn't keeping up with how demanding the consumers are. So, like, look at iPhones, for example. Like, people get upset. They're like, oh, well, this iPhone doesn't have, all these big features that I thought it would. And I'm like, dude, like right now the 15's out, but people got 14s and they're looking for a big jump on it. It's like, that phone isn't meant for you. That phone is meant for somebody who's coming from like an iPhone 10, an iPhone like 11, 12. That's going to be a big jump for them, because it's introducing monumental stuff. Like, these incremental upgrades, you can only push out so many major upgrades on a device these days, because the technology is just so advanced right now. And so, and of course, you got these companies that plan, 3, 4, 5 years ahead, but still, it's just so hard to keep up with the rate that the consumers are wanting. And so we kind of miss that whole factor of creativity. We kind of throw that out the way, because we're so used to it, and we're so used to these products coming out fast every year. All these games coming out, like you said, the other day, like, we just have so much content to just, digest, and we're just doing it so fast that we're just expecting shit that's like unrealistic at a point. And so I think we do it to ourselves, where we sit here and we're forcing these industries to just push out products faster, but it's losing the quality. Like, I'm a big fan, and I'm a big believer in quality over quantity. Like, I would much rather wait for something that's solid, that's very high quality, than you just feed me shit all the time. But a lot of people say the same thing, but they complain about it. Like, oh, this is taking too long. So that's my little take on it. Like, look at the RDC videos, right? A lot of their fans were backlashing them, because they're like, oh, why is this content taking so long? This and that. Nigga, like, they gotta create.
They gotta get right. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, people gotta learn to be patient for that shit. And also, like you said with the phone thing, like, some people gotta realize, for technology specifically, the next upgrade is not meant for you if you have the last one. These incremental upgrades, you're supposed to like. I don't understand why we got out of the motion. Upgrade your phone when you need to. I'm still on the XS Max because this motherfucker still works just fine.
It's a great phone. I love that phone.
It does, and it's like I don't feel like you said. If I upgrade to a 15, that's gonna be a huge jump for me. I'm probably gonna have new shit. Like you 14, you can stick with that. Stick with that for a few years. I don't get the notion of having to have the newest piece of technology because it's just like, bro, you're wasting so much, huh?
FOMO.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out.
It is FOMO. Yeah, that's FOMO hits gaming heavy too. Like FOMO hits gaming like a motherfucker. But like, that FOMO is crazy because it's like, bro, that upgrade does nothing for you. It's like, and same thing with the, like you said, it spreads like with gaming, right? Yep. Like I feel like if you will have a PS4 still, I don't understand why, but if you do, you know what I'm saying? You might as well wait for the PS5 Slim or Pro or whatever. You buying a PS5 because it's like at this point you'd be wasting your fucking money buying a PS5.
You really would.
And it's just ridiculous at how and like I don't think I forget if you mentioned this or not, but like the PS5 Pro, the upgrades probably gonna be so minimal, you know what I'm saying? That like it's like a 4070 to a 4080 type shit. Yeah. It's like, bro, there's no need. There's no like I feel pressured to buy it because like I'm a hardcore gamer and like I'm a content creator, so I want the latest shit to stay up to date with the content creation world and all that. But like it's just be like, bro, I don't want to though, because it's like, what am I getting out of this? Like, I think I might because I could sell my PS5 to like my brother or something, so I can get half back on it. But it's just like, and this isn't, well, the PS5 specifically isn't the people thing, but that's more of the phones. Like y'all can control yourself, stick with your phone. You buy a new phone every year. But like with the consoles and stuff, like like you said, it's more the company trying to push this shit out for no reason. There's no reason. There's no need.
It is, and it's like just back to the phone thing. Like my sister was texting me, and because she saw I upgraded my phone, but she didn't understand because I had the 13 mini, great phone. I fucking loved it. It's probably one of the best phones I had since the XS Max, and that's what I upgraded it from. And so, but the battery was shit. Like I was getting like 3 hours out of the battery by the time I upgraded my phone. I'm like, this is just impractical. So I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to upgrade because I'm big on tech. Like I keep up with all the upgrades. Like I knew coming from the 13 to 15, I'd get some features, but I'm like, it's not really worth it. But I'm like, damn, my battery's dying. Fuck it, I'm just buy this phone. But me, even I'm a fucking tech head. Like, yes, at this point in my life, I can probably buy a new phone every year, but I'm like, I still don't because I'm like, man, these cell phones are just, like I said, that incremental upgrades. There's just not much you're getting out of them. So, like, for my advice for these people, man, just like cut that FOMO mentality out. And I get it, I really do. But y'all kind of destroying the industries yourselves, man, with all this being impatient, man. Like, we don't need to be upgrading all this stuff every single year. Because she wanted to upgrade because she was like, well, I just want the USB-C port. I'm like, for what? It's a charger. Like, you're not using any of the capabilities that USB-C port's offering. Like it's for creators who want faster upload speed to their computers or to their SSD drives. Like it's not for you right now. Like, relax.
The only thing I can think of is like, oh, I can use that for when I record my videos to get straight to my computer.
It's faster transfer speeds. But
then that's all it is, just convenience, and you're paying hundreds, potentially $1,000s for that.
Yep, you gonna pay, I told her, I said, you gonna pay $1,000 for a USB-C port when that's the only feature that's changed from the 14 to the 15. She's like, oh, you're right. I'm like, yeah, no, like it's a waste of fucking money. But it's the same thing like you said with the PS5. Like I'm probably gonna pick it up, one, because I want to put my PS5 in, trying to make this media room in my house. I'm gonna put my PS5 in there. Plus this PS5, ever since I got it like the network connection, I don't know, I think it's something in my network card in the system, because it always disconnects from the Wi-Fi. Like I'm connected, but I'm not connected, and so I don't know, I've never like returned it to Sony because I'm like, that's such an inconvenience. So I'm just use this as like a little something in like my media room or some shit like that and pick up the Pro. But also we're content creators, so we have a different incentive on actually picking up these products. If you don't have any incentive of picking up these products, don't pick up these products.
Even with the content creator shit, that's still FOMO, because like realistically, if it wasn't a standard for content creators to have the latest shit, I wouldn't feel worried. But it is. Yep. So like, what if the next guy upgrades and the PS5 Pro the gameplay looks a little bit better, my video's not getting clicks. It's going to that guy.
Yeah, that's facts.
So that's facts. And like touching, it's like with the phones, like you said, the FOMO, you can maturity can outdo that. But with gaming, that is some malicious FOMO because like they will make you miss out on shit and like never bring it. It's not that they'll never bring it back; they'll never bring it back for free, or you just won't get it. Actually, me and Rain just talked about this. Since I got back into Destiny, I missed the last Guardian games, and I saw that one of the rewards was this cool ass hoverboard instead of a fucking sparrow, and I wanted it. But I looked into it and I saw, oh, it's a reward for the Guardian games. Oh, it's gone. Oh, there's a bundle in the fucking store for $20 you can buy. That includes hoverboard. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And FOMO with gaming is just so malicious because, like you said, you can miss out on that. You miss out on it forever. You can wait on iPhone 15. You can buy one next year if you want. You know what I'm saying? But with FOMO, you miss a battle pass, you miss a season of whatever favorite game, it's gone. That's it.
Gone.
And the only way they're gonna bring it back is for cash money. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So gaming uses it so maliciously, and I hate it. Like that's probably my biggest negative about battle passes. Battle passes rely on FOMO. You know what I mean? So I hate it when they don't. Some games the seasons last a decent little amount of time, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's mad short, in which case it's just like or just out of nowhere. But you know, it's just
they do use it maliciously though, and it's for a cash grab. I didn't even think about that. Like the fear of missing out for all, like especially with battle passes, that's the standard in the industry nowadays. Like if you don't unlock it, you're not getting it, and if they bring it back, you're paying for
off of what's hot. Like I'm pretty sure Fortnite is about to do a Fallout collab. Coincidence? I think cool. The fuck not. Think not. They're riding this fucking highway, and everyone who watches the show or is a Fallout fan is gonna go. That FOMO's gonna hit. Oh shit! Let me get back to Fortnite. Let me buy these skins. Let me play this thing. You know, it's crazy. It's
oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's it's a disease, and it works.
It works. That's why they do it, and that's why they continue to get away with it. Like that's the one thing I don't see us getting away from it because like as much as the vocal ones, as much as we're vocal about how much we dislike it or how much there's negatives, they're still making enough money to where it's working. So they're gonna keep doing it.
Oh yeah.
And there's always gonna, no matter how many people complain, there's probably more people buying it. MW3 taught me that. No matter who's complaining, there are more people buying than complaining. Because when you think about like content like this, only like the hardcore people, quote unquote, consume this type of content, right? So like out of like 100% of gamers, maybe 20% actually view gaming content. The other are very casual, they just get on, get off. And those people probably buying the battle passes, maybe. Yeah. Well, actually, a lot of money is coming from the 20% too. They just don't want to be vocal about it. Like y'all are buying them skins. No, don't be
they are.
Shit.
We saw the motherfucker with the Mercy skin. They won.
They won. Mercy, I know for a fact this season's made so much money because of Mercy having the mythic. I know it has. It's just that's why they were able to go free. Oh, we can go free for the battle pass. We don't need money off Adventure. We're getting money off Mercy. we're gonna hit a fucking record this month, boy. And man, Mercy players they have so many skins. Kiriko catching up with them. That's off topic and just like into something very specific. But yeah, I don't know. I would love for cosmetics to become more of a permanent thing, and battle passes be able to something you can like still earn after the season's over, just like backlog rewards, or vault rewards you can activate and start playing for. I don't know, because the way the current system works, you miss out on something, it's gone, and that really sucks for someone who actually generally loves the game. And it also like forces people to play things when they really don't want to, or maybe they put in more hours than they should be or normally do because I have to reach this battle pass level before this. Like, you know, you ever like get on a game, it's like, oh damn, the season's ending next week. I forgot. Now I have to grind out. And you feel like it's a job. You have to finish it out because you paid money for it or you need that reward. And it's like, oh, now I have to play this.
That's me with the Morris skin.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they do you, bro.
Like I paid for this. I gotta get on.
It's a very malicious cycle. Like, I forgot which one of y'all mentioned it to me, but like the fact that sometimes game devs hire psychologists to like help them, like, oh, how do we design this to make players want to come back? They want you to be addicted. They want you. It's crazy that is something that we encourage, you know. And then, but at the same time, those games are popular, and those games, for all the controversy they get, the players come back to it. Versus single player or co-op games that relying on it. One negative thing, bomb, like Helldivers. I don't know if the player count has dropped, but like we saw this one negative thing, boom, boom, bomb it. Right? Stellar Blade, the whole thing about the whole like not gender war, but like the whole feminine body sexist thing, like that whole controversy caused people to just turn away from the game completely.
Yep.
And it's just like, and it destroys games for real. You know, that could be potentially amazing or just
it does. And I think just touching a little bit back on FOMO, like FOMO, it was getting me a little bit for Stellar Blade because I'm like, one, I'm a content creator. I want to play it. I want to review it. I want to get my hands on it. But then I'm like, I'm realistically, I don't have the time to even play it right now. So what's the point of me paying, almost $80 to pick up this game? So, but that's a good point you make.
It is.
That I don't know, like these, because the game I'm still a little like, I'm still a little skeptical because everything I see on this game, I shit you not, it is damn near these naked women walking around, and everybody's talking about the gameplay and they're talking about the play style, but every time I see a video, it's just a woman walking around half naked, titties out.
That's what
out.
they want to focus on, bro. You right. Yep. I have not seen a lick of gameplay for real.
I ain't
have to worry about that.
I've not, and everybody's trying to cover it up. They're like, oh, not 9.5 out of 10 on a story. The gameplay's flawless. This and that. I'm like, okay, well, you ain't showing me no gameplay. You showing me this half naked chick walking around carrying a sword. That's cool and all, but like, are y'all more into the game because the gameplay's nice, the story's nice, or y'all more into it because you get to see your little fantasy wife on the screen? Like, what are we talking about?
For Stellar Blade specifically, I think maybe they just went a little too far because I get it, right? Because we're coming off of shit like what they did to MJ and Spider-Man 2. Like, we're coming off of like a lot of, and no offense when I say this, a lot of ugly ass women in gaming.
Yeah, we are.
Couple of years, like major. Stellar Blade is the first one in a long time where the main protagonist, the female lead, is actually a beautiful, like model-esque woman. You know what I'm saying? And so like, I understand the gamers like wanted to back it because of that. Because like, I too want to get back to handsome and beautiful video game characters. It's a fantasy world for a reason. And also, I think it's a little bit sexist because the men have always and still will be sexy, right? Like niggas have 6-8 packs.
6 packs.
Niggas, like, look at niggas, like all the gaming niggas, like fucking Leon Kennedy, all that. Like we can't. Let's be fair. It goes both ways. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
But like you said though, the player, and I don't think it's the game dev's fault. I think it's the players. The players themselves took it too far. They're just a little horny, too horny. It's kind of crazy, too horny. Yeah. So like they take it too far, and that's when I'd be like, okay, I understand why the other side don't like y'all because y'all do too much sometimes. But but in doing that, it makes that the focus of the game. Like the focus is not the game anymore. It's that whole war. Like you said, everything I've seen about the game has to do with the sexuality. That is the main focal point. And so that's what anybody who doesn't know about this game or even looks into it, that's all they're going to see. And that's what they're going to decide their answer off of, not even the game itself. And so we trailed off of FOMO because this isn't even FOMO. This is more like back to that internet like mob mentality thing, and it's like, in my opinion, and this goes for like the rap beef too, which I assume we'll get into later, foreshadowing. Like, if you're outside of it, if it doesn't directly involve you, you don't necessarily need to have an opinion. Or
you really don't.
You can stay out of it. You can mind your business. You can just like, okay, I get it, but hey, I'm buying the game because I want to play the game, okay? And then do that, or be like, oh, well, I'm just here for the game, and maybe the gameplay doesn't look like it'll fit me, so no, I'm not gonna buy it just because she's beautiful. Like, they're both valid things, like, And so people like fail to realize you don't have to pick a side, bro. You can just keep scrolling. You can mind your business. You can be in the middle. You can just know about it, but you don't have to pick a side. You don't have to be a part of this. You don't have to fuel this war. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And but also to the hornballs out there with all the half naked, like that is too much too. But that's probably, that itself is also probably a different whole subject about censorship and stuff. But
it's funny. Damn, there's like 3 different things to touch upon from that conversation. But it's funny that you said about the censorship, because just a little branch off topic. I was listening to this podcast today and they were talking about I guess because Texas banned porn. Basically, they didn't ban it, but they made it so like you had to verify with like a real government ID or something to make sure you're 18, which brought up a bunch of security concerns. People were saying like, oh, that's a violation of the First Amendment rights for adults. It went to like the Supreme Court or something, and they didn't make a final decision on it yet, but they kind of knocked it back for a little second because they were like, yeah, this might be a violation of the First Amendment rights, blah 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 blah. But then they were thinking like, well, hey, why would you block, Pornhub? And anybody listening, I'm not like encouraging you to watch porn and like that. I'm just putting out a fact here. They were like, why would you ban porn sites, but you can get on X/Twitter and you can just see an innocent post, but then there's some chick in her OnlyFans, showing herself getting like plowed in the comment section, like that. Like, why is that okay? But we can't, as an adult, view porn without all this, without giving up our government ID, which opens you up to a bunch of stuff like, fraud or, identity theft and stuff like that. And so I saw the points they were making. And then they were talking about, well, hey, where does the censorship kind of end? Because you see this stuff in movies. Like, are we going to ban, shows like, HBO shows like Game of Thrones? There's a bunch of sex scenes and shows like that, or these mature rated shows. Are we going to ban it's damn near porn these days, like Euphoria and stuff like that? Are we gonna ban that?
Yeah, I was thinking about that because like it's so funny how in general you can have like a movie with sexual themes and you can rate it T. It doesn't have to be M or anything, but if it has murder and blood in it, it's automatically M. And it's like, bro, so you'd rather it's kind of backwards, but it
is backwards. And then you think about it, it's like y'all was saying, it's like you got Euphoria, where it's they're represented as teenagers, but they're really grown and they're having sex and this and that. And it's like, okay, I'm not making an opinion on it because I love these shows, but at the same time, I'm understanding it's like, okay, well, for industries and just Pornhub and your X-rated sites, like this shit applies in the movie industry, it applies in the TV industry, it applies in video games, because like we said, we got video games where, you see a lot of sexual content. You got GTA, you got this new Stellar Blade where it's very sexualized for the women. It's a very attractive game to the eye, especially to a male, right? And so where would we start to cut these things? Or we just cut them out? Like, how would this apply? So I think that's where that bill gets a little tricky, because it's like, not only does that shit apply to just the porn industry, that applies kind of to everything. And it just shows you how much sex, sells in this damn country. Like, and I was like, when I was in the academy, they were like showing us these like statistics, and it was like, obviously number one is drugs, drugs, the amount of income that comes into the country. Number one is drugs. Number two is like, number two is sex trafficking, actually, and then number three was something else. But guns. Number three was guns. Number two was sex trafficking. Number one was drugs. And I'm like, that's insane, man. Like, that's so much income and so much money being pushed into the economy just off these three fucking illegal things. I'm like, it just shows you how much sex sells. Like, from the beginning of time, like, motherfuckers are horny, man, and so it's always going to be an industry that sells. That's why I don't really see that bill really going anywhere, because I mean, look at a lot of these lawmakers, and we're branching off way deep. We away from gaming right now, but look at all these lawmakers. I mean, you got, motherfuckers into sex trafficking. They make a lot of money in that shit, yo. Like, a lot of the people who run this country, man, are involved in a lot of illegal shit. There's no coincidence that those three are bringing in the most income for the country, for the world, damn near. And, we got all these legislators, making all this money when their salary is supposed to be capped at $250, but they're worth millions. It's crazy, huh? And then we got, the shit with Diddy and the shit with Epstein and shit with Trump, and it's all this stuff. And it's like, I don't know, we branching way off, but that was my time about sex.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's just like, it's a difficult solution. I don't know if there is one, because like a solution will require like each and every one of us to be individually responsible for our own selves in that regard. And like, you just can't trust people like that. You can't.
You can't.
Because it's like, because you can't govern something like that on a whole basis, but you can't trust everybody individually either. So it's just like, it's a loophole. It's a paradox loophole. You got to find a loophole.
It is, and I think, like, you can't trust it. Like, the society is very different, and I don't know. We were in the Marine Corps, so we see things like we're technically more respectful than a lot of the civilians I see out here. Like, I was in a grocery store today, and like, this lady, like, everybody I move past, I always say it doesn't even like come to my mind because it's so natural. Like, I say, excuse me, I say, hey, how you doing? I say, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. It's just ingrained in my brain. That's not even from military. That's just from good parenting, good teaching growing up. And so the military kind of just like heightened that, and so I'm getting out, and this lady like moves past me, says nothing. I'm like, okay. And I just see people being rude to each other. In traffic, you see it all the time, like, especially in Houston. Like, you see these cars just going like 100, swerving in between lanes, just cutting everybody off, being so selfish. And it's like, culture today is just so rude everybody's so rude. Everybody's out for themselves. They're worried about themselves. And so it goes back to what you're saying, like holding everybody accountable at an individual level is just impractical. And that's why we have a lot of the problems we do today. Tying it back to what you said about everybody needs to keep their own opinion to themselves sometimes. I agree with that because, like I said, back to gaming, if you don't like, say, let's throw a random game out there. Let's go with new games, Dragon's Dogma or some shit. Like, if you like the game, you like the game. That's fine. You don't have to bash somebody just because they like a game. I mean, you can, inform them of if they ask about your opinion. A lot of people like to just put their opinion on somebody because somehow we get emotionally tied to something that we didn't even create, and I get it. We get passionate about the things that we like, but I found myself having to like grow out of that because I'm like, it doesn't, at the end of the day, does it fucking matter? Am I making money off of defending fucking, am I making money off of defending a certain game that I like? No. So you know what? I let people have their opinions these days because I'm like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I'm not about to sit here and blast you and talk about your fucking. It gets so out of hand too. People get so disrespectful with it. They'll like talk about your family because you don't like fucking Call of Duty or some shit. I'm like, bro, it's a video game. Relax, man. Like it's not that serious. Let people have their opinions. They either like something or they don't. I mean, it's fine. You ain't gotta like the same shit. Rain, was you saying something?
I said not at all. I feel that same way because like when I'm playing something or trying something out and then someone asks me or they see me trying it out and then they give me their opinion about it and I don't have anything to say back because I'm not trying to defend this or like argue about your opinion because it is your opinion, but I didn't necessarily ask for it. If you don't like something that I'm trying, I don't think you should tell me until
Facts.
I tried.
Facts.
So then we can have a discussion because otherwise I don't know how to go into that situation. Yeah.
But I think people don't want to really have discussions about it because they get so passionate about it. They want to change your opinion on it. They want to change your mind on it. And so a lot of these discussions turn into arguments because, like you said, it's that passion, it's that emotion put behind. Like, I need him to like this. I need her to like this game. And it's like, why? Why you need them to like this game so bad?
I'd like to understand why people don't like something. But then if they but in their opinion, if they like some people have false opinions, you know what I mean? Like you could feel some way about something, but it's wrong because you misunderstood it. And then someone could be trying to provide insight on what you misunderstood to maybe alter your opinion. Only in those situations, but
you see, what I think it is, bro, is like it's not that it's more of a mentality thing, right? With the people. I think like you said, Ashley, people are stubborn and selfish nowadays. So I think the average mentality is that of someone who's not looking to come to an understanding. They're looking to tell you that you're wrong, right? And there's a major difference. They're not listening to understand what you're saying. They're listening so they can argue back. So like everything you're saying, it's gonna go over their head in one ear out the other because they're not trying to catch the message at all. So that's what happens more often than not. Like you'll tell them things legitimate, like logic, facts, or just straight up like, this is how I feel, this and that. But they'll just dismiss all of that as if it doesn't matter, just to drive home their point or point out the one, straw man in the argument. And I see it all the time. And it's just, and those are people you can't argue with. Like you said, they're not trying to listen. So like they're gonna turn into an argument. It's not gonna be a discussion. So you just can't talk with them. And so it's once again, no solution there because you can't talk sense into a brick wall. But I think a lot of people are just kind of like tied to their opinions. It feels almost bigger than themselves. Like it's I guess like you said, like feel attached to something they love or something. Because people do go to like hell and back to defend their opinions when like realistically it does not matter at all. It doesn't affect your life. It doesn't like. It holds no weight.
It doesn't.
You could just walk away from this conversation. Just go because it's most likely over the internet. So you can just not reply back. You can even block them even if you want to. Just they don't exist anymore in your world.
Literally.
Yeah, but like people would rather argue. I don't know. People love to hate. It's the thing. We're addicted to trauma. We love to hate. That's why everything. So it's so easy to latch on to those negative feelings. So that's why it happens, So I try not to take it hard, especially because like you said, it's over the internet, so they can be tougher than normal because no consequences to talking to however you want over the internet at all.
Oh yeah. and since you mentioned it, like obviously everybody, there's been a bunch of rap beef in the community going on. It's been a bunch of content being pushed out from these artists because of all this drama. I guess I'm not too into all this stuff, so I just like listening to the music. I guess Kendrick Lamar had his response, and I kind of wanted to touch on that too to bring back that mob mentality, man. Like, I feel like it's just so funny to me how everybody, because I started hearing it a lot too. And he was like, "Oh, well, you still gonna listen to Drake?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like Drake." What the fuck?
They expect you to go back and delete all your Drake songs.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I'm like, yeah, I like Drake.
I
Drake's in
hate
the
that
playlist.
so much. They act like because they favorite rapper don't fuck with them, they can't fuck with them. Like, bro, you are a civilian, you're a pedestrian. That man doesn't know you exist. Please
At all.
stop. Like, yeah, like no.
He probably will fuck your bitch too. So just take this shit with a grain of salt, man. Yeah, it's just funny.
I don't understand. Yeah, I would never like. Like, oh, I don't want to say it for lack of better words. I could never dick ride an artist like some of these people do. Oh my gosh,
Dude,
like
it's insane.
It's just like
celebrities as a whole, bro.
Yeah,
they idolize them.
Cults.
Yes,
the Swifties. Oh my, the fact they have names.
God.
They have names.
Oh
Swifties?
My god, they have
like
Swifties.
If you say something bad about Taylor Swift,
it's over. They'll cancel you.
Career.
They'll get you canceled.
You're gone. That's it.
They'll get you fucked up.
You're gone. You're on the island, buddy.
They'll get
you're waking up there
up
tomorrow, bro. Like
even Drake ain't say nothing about her.
Yeah, like the fact that remember they defended her when she took a 30-minute private jet flight.
Yeah,
like that's crazy. You don't think that's selfish? For 30 minutes, she couldn't drive for 2 hours.
Hell no.
That is insane. That's some insane rich people shit on a private jet, not even a public flight. Private. Oh my goodness. And then they're just like swearing up and down like it's okay. It's not a big deal. And it's like, and you can like it goes to show that we're still in like a might makes right kind of society. It's just not strength kind of might. It's more like popularity. It's more like money. But like might makes right for real. And and like, and so it's hard to. That's kind of off topic though. Back to the rap beef though. Like you said, same opinion applies. Stay out of it. It doesn't matter. Like I'm here for the music too. I liked both disses. I like Kendrick's more, so I guess I do. Yeah. I guess that in my mind, I guess that means he won that battle. But that's it to me. I'm still gonna listen to both songs. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm still gonna listen to all my Kendrick. I just have more songs to add to it. Because once again, it's like all the other rap songs I sing. I don't fucking mean what I rap when I be singing these songs. So I don't mean what I'm saying when I'm dissing Drake singing this song. I'm just singing the song. It's catchy, bro.
It's catchy.
It's like it's what I use it for. I don't think all music has to directly mean something real for you just to be a good song to listen to.
Yeah.
Some media and entertainment can be taken as just that at times.
That's it, man. It's just entertainment, and people get so caught up in it, dude. And oh my god, like I was talking to you about this the other day. The reaction videos. Oh my god, they get so corny. Like I said, everybody's trying to like copy the way Kai's personality is. It's not even just that. Like everybody's just trying to copy each other, trying to overreact something. Like I was watching this dude respond to Euphoria, and like before he even plays the track, his mouth is just hanging open. I'm like, dude, we ain't even heard shit yet. What the fuck? Like, what is this over exaggeration for this song right now? And then Kendrick started dropping some hard bars. I'm like, okay, but it's just like it's mainly black people. I ain't gonna lie. It's like the same thing with them 20v1s, man. It's just. That's a whole nother topic, but just touching back on that.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, dude. Bro, it's just shame, man.
They did that 20v1 with that
8-year-old, right?
Rapper, bro. Dude. Who's his parents? Who are these women? They're not ashamed of themselves?
It goes back to the sexualization.
Women
bro.
did a 360 for an 8-year-old.
An 8-year-old, and everybody thinks it's okay.
Nobody blinked. Nobody looked twice. This is like what?
And like we selling sex to kids now. It's like. Dude, this shit is getting out of hand with the country, man. We eat it up. You're like, yeah, give me a 360. Bitch, you 8.
Yeah, and that goes back to that case of like why people want to be able to ban the porn stuff, but it's like once again, how do you do that without interfering on the rights of your normal person who's not doing this BS,
And obviously y'all supporting it because it's like y'all, this kid's looking at ass, and these girls are. I don't know why. If I was female, I wouldn't do it. I'm like, bro. Yeah, they would. I mean, they do it. It's a check. You do anything for a check. People do anything for money, man. But it's just so. I don't know, man. It's just like. Don't get me wrong. I love women, like a lot. I love looking at women. Women are beautiful, beautiful creatures. I think women are probably the most beautiful thing on this earth. But there's a line, man. There's some boundaries, dude. Like, I think a lot of these women, we talked about this before, like the self-respect is just so low. Like, you sit up here showing up on these 20v1s, these YouTube videos, you know. And this ties to another point too, like about that popularity thing, dude. If you're popular, you no matter what, you get bitches. No matter what. If you're popular, women will flock to you. Like, I was seeing, what the hell is his name? Some sloppy, fat, nasty, ugly rapper. Yeah, content creators, but they got some clout. So you're like, oh, you know, and they just, women flock to them because they got clout. Women would never touch them any other day. If any other circumstance, it wouldn't happen. But since you got clout, since you got a little, you ain't even gotta have money. If you got popularity, people want to flock to you. You can say, I got like 500K on Instagram.
We got a scale just like that, though. You know what I mean? The crazy, the hot scale for men. Women got that scale for like money to ugly niggas.
You
know? Yeah, that's true. That's what they base their ratings on, man. It's about your pockets. I'm not necessarily saying it's like a, you know, a bad thing, but too much of it is just gets kind of bad. I mean, when you're basing,
the difference with us though is we just trying to fuck.
That's it.
A relationship of that nigga's coattails. That's
different. Literally. Yeah, thank you. We just trying to fuck. That's very true. That's it. I mean, it's just, I don't know, shit gets out of hand, but just tying it back to that popularity thing, man. I think people and mob mentality, people they treat these celebrities like idols, and I don't understand it fully, because I'm like, this person is a human just like you. They wake up, they brush their teeth, they take a shit, they take a shower, they eat food. They just happen to have more luxurious life because they got some more money in their pocket than you. They're no different though. They can still die. They still live. Like, I don't understand why so many people idolize these celebrities and they treat them like gods, and they get so offended when anybody ever comes at them. And I'm like they could be in the total wrong, but since they're popular and they're their favorite celebrity, they're gonna defend it. And I don't know. I just saw a lot of that stuff with these disses and stuff, and I'm like, man, just have fun with it. Like, people you're getting more content. Have fun with it. You shouldn't be getting into an argument with somebody because, oh shit, you listen to Kendrick or you listen to J. Cole. And I'm like, bro, I listen. If they're good, I listen to them. Like, I mean, I listen to Kendrick. I fucking love. Damn, it's probably one of my favorite albums ever. I listen to J. Cole almost religiously. I love J. Cole. Always have. Pretty much always will. I listen to Drake. Drake's got a bunch of bangers. Drake has so much fucking music that it's hard that anybody can't run into Drake. There's a lot of, almost every song he drops is a fucking number one.
You know, I got to go back and apologize to my man J. Cole, because now I understand more of why he just chose
why he did it, right?
Because it's right? Like, it's just like, bro, he don't ruin my peace with something that don't matter.
It don't.
Bro. I understand more now. I get it.
Yeah,
because ultimately it really doesn't matter. It's just people taking shots. Just like, oh, I don't care, bro. Good, nice song.
And it shows so much, like, because when I was talking out my ass about that before I saw the video, once I finally saw the video, I'm like, damn, that makes so much sense. And like, he's like, I became the person that I rap against, and he's like following his morals. And that 7-minute drill was hard. That shit was hard as fuck. I actually enjoyed 7-minute drill. I don't know how everybody else felt about that damn track, but I felt that shit was hard. And he took it off. That shit was on his number one chart, making money from it, but he took it off. Like, that shows some real, that's some big man shit right there. I'm not gonna lie. And then he just stayed out of it completely from there. I think that was cool. And I think that's probably why Kendrick didn't even touch him really on this Euphoria track. Because, I guess Drake was being a little petty. I mean, I don't know, but I do think Kendrick came out on top on that. But yeah, everybody's getting all teeter, especially when against J. Cole. They were like, oh, J. Cole being a little bitch, this and that. I'm like, are you really listening though? I'm like, if you really know J. Cole, that sounds like some J. Cole shit. If you really think about it. So I'm like, I don't know. Plus, he killed the song. So I'm like,
yeah, but that's one of those things where it's like the perception you have of people because of what you see of them and how you see them. Like, to a regular person, when they look at a celebrity, like they look at J. Cole, they saw that's who they see. They see J. Cole, they see a rapper, but like, he's just he has to live a life outside of that. He's so much more than that. He's I don't know, because I don't really follow celebrities like that. He's probably a father, a husband, or something. Has a family he takes care of. Probably has side hustle he does outside of rap, because most rappers don't just rap. They have business that they had to do. And And like, so it's just like, but the people online, all they see is J. Cole the rapper. So like whenever this persona takes a hit, that's their whole perception of they're like, oh, the persona has to fight back, or this is but it's like, bro, he's so much more than that. And it's just like and that goes to the rap, that goes for all celebrities and all accounts. They're regular people. Like I said, you're just a person. You're just a man, you're just a woman. That's literally it. At the end of the day, we're all more or less, we're not equal, obviously, but we're all the same.
We're all humans.
Yeah,
man. Like, stop taking this shit to heart. I mean, these are people y'all idolizing, man. It's not that serious, not that big of a deal.
Crazy strong social media is. It just makes them look like a god, bro.
We
some people embody that ego crazy, boy.
They do.
Like,
they do.
Yes, Future is one of them. Holy
he is one of them.
Dog, like if I was listening to one of the songs off that last album, and like I really listened, and some shit he said was wild as fuck. He said, it could be God himself. Anyone after me is a downgrade. And I was like, I sat there and thought about, like, wow, this man really said that. That's wild.
God gonna look at his ass at the gates and go, really, nigga? You want to repeat that verse?
Like, it kind of, you have to have to say something like that. That shit is crazy.
But you got to look at it too, though. Like, when you have all these people worshiping you, literally worshiping you. Like, look at Taylor Swift, right? These fans love her. Some fans will kill for her. Don't know her, never met her, right? Same thing with these artists, right? Future's very prominent in the rap game. We got a lot of niggas that'll fucking ride for him. They don't even know him. It's like when you got so many people treating you like you're a literal god, it might be hard to not think that you're a god.
Stay humble. Yeah.
It's hard to stay humble when you got everybody just dick riding you. Like you said, it's hard to be humble. Like, that's what said that fame shit, it gets to your head. It's a disease because you see a lot of celebrities, they have this persona that they weren't when they first started out, but now that they have this fan base, they got millions of people that love them. It affects Drake too. I'm not gonna lie. It affects Drake a lot. It does. Like, if you see the shit that Drake does, Drake's very flaunty. He's very like,
he gotta be a pop
about me. Yeah, exactly. He's
star. So
it does. And so like it just comes from all these people just like worshiping you. Like, I don't know what it feels like because I've never had that, and I hope I never do, because I honestly I wouldn't want fame. Like, fame, everybody says that, but not everybody means it. I really wouldn't. Like, I would feel very uncomfortable not being able to go to my day-to-day life and handle my business without somebody in my face with cameras and shit, or somebody just praising me, or fucking just I don't like that, because at the end of the day, I'm human. I'm not better than anybody, but some people think they're better than other people, and I think that is just such a terrible way to just think and feel, man. Like, that's just awful. Just because of the amount of money you have, or the amount of success or fame, like, you're not better than the homeless man that's out here asking for money on the street, man. But you tell that to them, they don't feel that way. And so I think that was a good point you brought up, actually. Like, yeah, people do feel that way. I mean, look at it's the same shit with some content creators, man, on YouTube. And these motherfuckers could only have like what, a couple million subscribers. Like, they can go outside now, nobody know them, but online they're fucking famous. So they feel the need that they can disrespect anybody. They can come at smaller content creators, dog them, because they're like, oh, well, you're not really shit. You don't have, the amount of followers I have. You don't have the amount of subscribers I have. And it's that shit is so toxic, man. And I don't ever wish down upon anybody, but I do sometimes wish humility upon a lot of people, because that's what a lot of people need. But yeah, that's way off topic, but that is a good conversation. It just shows a little realism on the show. But yeah, man, I mean, we see a lot of this shit in relation to the in the gaming industry, and a lot of this stuff comes all down to just I guess people's reactions to things, man. Like we're saying, stop being sheep. Start thinking on your own. You have a brain. God gave you a brain. It's your brain. You can use it. It's okay. You don't have to agree with everybody just because it's popular. Go ahead and form your own opinions. Sometimes it's hard, but it'll be good for you. Trust me. Y'all got anything to add before I continue some of the news real quickie?
No, sir.
All right. Yeah, so we got a little off topic, but back to the news for everybody who's here for the gaming news. Gonna get that out the way. XDefiant is launching May 21st on all platforms. Finally, it's launching in its preseason, which includes 14 maps, 5 game modes, 24 weapons. It's saying that most game modes will be 6v6, but the preseason will also include a 4v4 ranked mode. All of you who do not know, XDefiant kind of gained a lot of popularity last year because it's Ubisoft's version of it's pretty much Ubisoft's COD competitor. I never got my hands on it. I know y'all played the beta, I believe, when it first dropped. How was that? How did XDefiant feel?
Oh, it was fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay. Does it play the same as COD? Or like what does it have like different aspects to the game, or is it kind of just like that standard FPS shooter?
Yeah, I mean, well, people could always compare any FPS to COD, but they're saying it's another quote unquote COD killer. But it's I can't remember too much about it because, like I said, that was like last year, that alpha or whatever it was.
Yeah. It didn't have skill based matchmaking.
It did not. That was the standout, but also it was an operator like game, so like if you're comparing it to COD, like Black Ops 3, 4, where you choose a person and you choose a faction that gives you what abilities you have or whatever. And it had a couple different game modes as well. Like I played like an escort payload. This one they had a domination classic. But it was pretty fun. Free movement, reload canceling, bringing back the stuff that at the time COD was really gatekeeping for real.
Yeah,
like when we were playing it. So I definitely think it could be some stiff competition for it because people loved it.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot of hype about it. I wasn't able to play it, but I was hearing a lot of hype about XDefiant. I'm pretty excited to play it. So I guess I'll be getting into that a little bit on May 21st. I haven't really played besides Overwatch, a shooter FPS in years at this point. So I'm pretty excited to try that out a little bit, see how it's going on. But preseason is set to last 6 weeks before season 1 launch. Each season will include a new faction, 3 new weapons, 3 new maps, and a 90-tier battle pass. They got some code names out for the season. Season 1 is already codenamed Ruby. 2 is going to be Buzz. 3 is going to be Orchard. And 4 is going to be Horde. So if you're into XDefiant, you're looking forward to it, that's a little brief synopsis on what you can expect. Once again, that's coming out May 21st on all platforms. Go ahead and check that out in the upcoming weeks. Lords of the Fallen, we were supposed to cover this last week, but we didn't. We had a lot to cover, and we skipped over it. I think, Rain, this was your kind of segue. If you still remember all the stuff you want to talk about
that. All the stuff about like Lords of the Fallen and the changes they made.
Yeah, the changes they made. So,
I can speak a little bit about it. Version 1.5 that's released recently. They launched with the new Halloween quest line and inventory expansion number 1. So they got a couple more of those launching. Spell packs, mob density reduction, so that it's not as tough. I guess that was pretty dope. The mobs weren't too bad.
Are the mobs dense?
They were,
bad, but it was fun. they were fun, yeah. But they were fun for 2 niggas, so I was bad for a solo nigga. Umbral armor set in questline. Rogar armor set in questline has been added. Master of Fate, which is a new modifier you can do to the world, has been added. Radiant armor set in questline has been added, and then new secret weapons and boss weapon abilities have also been added to the game. So it's a lot more content to check out.
Yeah, that roguelike thing, because I watched that video you sent whenever you linked it. So like I forgot what the mode's called. I think it's like their mastery mode, but like you can like when you new game plus it, like turn like basically affect all the game modifiers, mob density, like an item randomizer, enemy randomizer. You can set it to Iron Man mode where you have 1 life.
Even on console?
Yeah, and you can like fucking decide how many vestiges are gonna be up and stuff like that. Like and like, truly make it into a roguelike and affect how difficult you want the experience to be, and then run it. And then every time you die, and all the items and enemies randomized. So like you can give yourself like a little roguelike experience of Lords of the Fallen if you feel like you're a master of it or you just want, a crazy run.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big add-on that's coming with that.
For sure.
Cool. Okay. And then they did some updates to the performance is it just the performance or the graphics as well? Like, did they?
It was performance.
Performance,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, because the way they did designed it, they said it was very ambitious because it's basically two worlds layered on top of each other with the Umbral Zone. That's how it works. So like the performance helps the transition, I believe, and stuff like that. Should make it more. Yeah, it's a performance upgrade.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, it's now on sale for $30 just on Steam though for now. So if anybody's interested in that, go ahead and look into that. Remnant 2, we got some updates. We got the Forgotten Kingdom DLC, which is out now. Players will piece together the forgotten history of the lost tribe of Iesha. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce that. In an attempt to quell the vengeful wrath of an ancient store spirit called Ledusa. Hopefully I said that right. You're going to prepare to navigate the lingering traces of treachery and death that haunt the land's once proud ziggurats as Ledusa's living stone wander the crumbling remnants of an ancient civilization in search of fresh blood. The Forgotten Kingdom features a new storyline, dungeons, bosses, weapons, and a lot more. Players have already found new secret weapons and are sharing their experiences online. So if you're still playing Remnant 2, you're into the community still, check out that DLC. Just that made me think of Elden Ring a little bit. Was that their first DLC? The little Eldritch Tree, whatever.
Shadow of the Earth Tree? Yeah.
Yeah, that shit. Then it's gonna be their last, huh?
I
saw something online about that.
I'm not too sure.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, good. I just saw something online. It was like, oh, their first and their last DLC or some shit like that. I'm like, oh shit, are they not pushing out more?
Because Dark Souls 3 was the last one, right? And Dark Souls 3 got multiple DLCs. I think got 2.
Yeah.
You think Elden Ring will get a second game?
I don't know, because it's like, it's like a one-off for the formula of their Souls game. So like, I don't know if it'd get a direct sequel, but they definitely would like. I think this encourages them to continue to make like easy access Souls like games, though. Considering how much people loved it. So I'm willing to bet you'd get another Elden Ring like experience, but I wouldn't expect it to be the same name.
Okay. So it's the same experience, different game.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well,
that's my next one I'm getting into after BG. I should have finished Dogma. Dogma came out a while ago, and I still haven't touched it. It's only so much time in a day. Jesus. But BG has my
Oh yeah, it's good though. We gonna finish that in no time with your rate.
I know, dude. I was so locked in last night. I'm like, fuck. What do we even Oh, what's her name? The demon chick. Damn it. Karlach. Yeah, I like her. Yeah, she evolved. Anyway, talking about BG3, Hasbro, the toys and games company. This is a pretty interesting article that I saw. So, I guess they quote me if I'm wrong, but did they come up with the Dungeons and Dragons? Is it a board game? What is it? I never played. Did they come up with the Dungeons and Dragons? I know they sell a lot of toys for Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of other companies. They're a big toy company. But they have a lot of investments. So let me just get to the synopsis. So Hasbro has $1 billion invested in the video game industry. They're saying they plan on investing into this industry over the next 100 years. Crazy to even think about, but when you really think about it, it's like, it's feasible. Gaming alone has been out for almost 50 years now, video game wise. So I guess that's not really a surprise. But anyway, they said they had made $90 million from Baldur's Gate 3 alone in 2023, and that was just selling off of toys. Toys and like other things, because they didn't make the game obviously, but they sold a lot of physical things, I guess, related to BG3. So in 2023 they made $90 million alone, and they have invested $1 billion into their 4 AAA studios. So I guess they are invested into the gaming industry. So they have invested $1 billion into their 4 currently existing AAA studios as part of a very deliberate plan that goes beyond game development. So they were advertising multiple new IPs, and they were advertising continuations of certain games. So they have a pretty big investment into the game. So I guess we'll see a lot more content out of them in the next the next, however long. But they're invested. I think their biggest projects are like part of Transformers. They sell a lot of Transformers toys. They worked on the movies, shit like that. That's all I can think about for them. But pretty interesting. Pretty interesting how all these companies are really getting into the gaming industry. Game is very lucrative, man, and I think a lot of people don't realize how big gaming is. Like people, almost everybody games in some sort of way, and people don't realize that. They think, oh, it's just people sitting at a monitor playing console games or PC games, and it's way bigger than that. You got these mobile games.
Mobile gaming makes so much money, bro.
So huge, man. It's so huge.
And with mobile gaming, I ain't gonna lie, like a real game is gonna be predatory with it.
Yeah,
with the microtransactions and shit like that.
Clash of Clans.
After
that had us for all that
investment, it starts hitting that paywall. But the amount of people who play games on phones is actually crazy, and like they do be tossing money.
Yeah, they do.
Gaming is very lucrative.
They do.
Like think about it, even a console game, you pay $70 up front, and you pay $20 for a battle pass. You do that every 3 months, and then on this 4th month, this cool skin comes out. That's $10. Or just like it's
the small shit that adds up, man.
Yeah.
It adds up. It keeps these companies fed. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, everybody got to make their money, but gaming is it's the biggest industry in entertainment right now, and it's because like you got these mobile games, board games, card games, console games, PC games. Like anything that's a game is technically in that industry, so they're making money. Like look when Candy Crush was so fucking big, that shit made millions of dollars off a simple Candy Crush game, man. Just like aligning little fucking candies, and that game was so addicting. I never played it, but it was so addicting. You got games like Subway Surfers, and these are just mobile games. You got games like Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans had me on a lock one of them years. Like when we was in, I was paying for the battle passes. I was paying $10 here and there for the gems. I was invested in that fucking game. That game was getting my money. But yeah, I mean, I like to see it though. I like to see gaming growing. I just don't want these companies abusing it. Like we talk about all the time. I don't want them abusing these tactics to, milk money from us. But I do like the fact that the industry is growing, and it's growing as fast as it is, because I like video games, and I'm probably going to play video games for the rest of my life. Funny, I just said that. That was not planned. But I did want to talk about this topic because I saw somebody say,
"Yeah, so you telling me you a grown ass man
and you play video games?" Hey, I think that's funny, man.
You gave me the ick, bro.
It's funny because it's a lot of women too that have this opinion. They're like, I feel like a man shouldn't be playing video games. I feel like he should be going to work. I feel like video games are for children. And I'm trying to figure out why they say that, because especially now today, you can make money you can make a really good living off playing video games if you wanted to, You don't even have to, man. I think it's just it's a healthy hobby if you keep it healthy. If you're not neglecting anybody around you, it's a healthy hobby. It's a great outlet. I don't see the problem with playing video games, And it's just funny that they say that, because I don't know, like some dudes will even say it, man. They're like, "Oh, playing video games is lame, this and that." But they'll sit there and watch fucking basketball all day and look at these men live out their dreams.
It's one of those opinions of people from the outside looking in. They never experienced it or bothered to actually try to experience it. It's like they just look at it as if it's childish, but they really don't know what gaming is, or they don't play video games for real at all. They've probably never touched one, and that's why they have that opinion. But but there's also bitter people like that who just don't have a hobby, so they don't know what
that's true.
Because like when you think about it, those are the same people, like you said, to go sit down and watch, well, not simply basketball, but watch TV all day, right? And it's like, and when I think about it, bro, I used to think of that in itself as a hobby, but mindlessly watching, but it's different if you're mindlessly watching it. And a lot of people mindlessly watch TV, because I think it's different if it's just your hobby, because like in that case, you're one of those people who will like rewatch a show or a film and like pay attention to the details, look at the
Mm-hmm.
subtext. I truly try to understand the themes and the morals and get the vision. But there are people who just mindlessly watch TV. So
Yeah.
in that case, or they mindlessly scroll, which is worse. They doom scroll, which is even worse, right?
Yeah.
So like they don't really have a hobby, so they don't understand like the passion behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of bitter people, who just don't understand. Because like you said, right? Like they'll sit there and watch the NBA all day. Like me personally, I'm not too much of a I'm not a hockey fan. I don't watch the
Yeah.
NHL. I don't play. I don't ice skate. None of that shit. But I could definitely understand, how a fan could be getting into because I know what I'm like with gaming.
Yeah.
So it's just they need a hobby. They don't have a life, so they make fun of other people's.
Yeah. And it comes down to that understanding. It's just ignorance. A lot of people don't understand it. They think, oh, it's all virtual. So how can you get locked into this thing? And I'm like, it's deeper than that. Video games have stories to tell. They have, it's
You can learn
entertainment.
a
It's
lot.
enjoyable. You can learn a lot in video games. I really think you can. I have.
Like I heard a guy say one time, he was like, I think gamers are among some of the better people. Well, I ain't gonna lie, this is talking about single player games, right? But
Mhm.
he was like, I think gamers are among the better people because your hobby is actively teaching you good morals and themes as long as you're doing it
Yeah.
right. It's just like, versus people who's like if their hobby is reality TV, they're not learning nothing positive from that.
Oh no,
That's
you're
just
not
straight
learning shit
drama.
from that.
It's
That's
straight
drama.
drama, right? So it's like. So it's one of those things where it's not only a hobby, but it's a positive one. It's just it depends how you take it, because at the other end of it, there's the guy who only plays 2K,
Yeah.
or COD or something, or just plays that one game and rages it all day that they've been playing for the last 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
so like
definitely, especially how social it is today too. I think it's a
you know,
great outlet.
it's funny that I think it is. So like y'all showed me this today. He showed me this thing where it was a video by the Black Hokage. I think It's like
Yeah,
he
my
made
favorite.
a
Yeah.
video about how the top selling games on PlayStation were like most of them were Microsoft games. And looking at the list, it was crazy. Like the top 5 games, like these are like top 5 games played by PlayStation users for the last like month or whatever data like that. And they were like Fortnite, Call of Duty, 2K, Madden, in MLB and shit.
Yeah.
And then then the next one was like Overwatch. And like, bro, it was like, bro, these are all games that are old as fuck. They've been here forever. It goes to show that like he even pulled because he said he looked it up himself and it was 60 he was interested in. He said
Mhm.
60, and this isn't just PlayStation, but 60% of all gamers play games that are like 6 years or older.
Mhm.
60%. If
Yeah.
you play anything that came out within the last few years, you are in the minority of gamers. People do not try new things.
No.
And so it's not just outside of gaming, it's within the community too. Like people do not try new things. They don't try new shit. People are playing the same old games and just sticking it out. And I don't think there's no problem with sticking with an old game. Like I'll go back to Overwatch and play a game every now and then. But that
Mhm.
being my main thing after so many years of playing it and it's essentially being the same or going in this downward spiral, it just makes no sense. You gotta try new shit. You gotta reach out or go back to other old shit. Like I went back to Destiny, for now. And it's
Yeah.
just you gotta
People do
you
what's
gotta branch out.
comfortable though.
Yeah, that's
Let
the
me think.
problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
People have too much reliance on their comfort zones. Let's see, I think it's an issue because I think this spreads back to the internet conversation, like of the other side of it, where people think the internet should be a safe space. Like, no,
Mhm.
it's
No.
the wild, wild fucking
It's the
west.
Wild West.
You can't like try and contain it or something like that. It's too
No,
big
you
for that.
cannot.
But like, I think like having comfort zones or and safe spaces is all right. It's dope, but you can't expand that onto the world. You can't project that safe space onto the world when you leave your bubble.
Yeah.
You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I know that's
Exactly.
something people don't get, but that's something I had to get. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And once you
Mhm.
get that, it becomes a lot easier to manage and operate outside your bubble and like not be offended as much and also just it helps with everything in terms of having your own opinion, being your own individual. You feel me?
It does.
Because
It does.
like it just this we trail off so fucking bad, but
It's a good thing though. It's a good
yeah,
conversation.
it's just one of those things because like these people trying to like project these safety pins onto like This goes back to the porn thing of like them banning it for everybody. It's just like, bro, you can't project your safety vision, I guess, onto everyone. You know, you can't do that. You got to be comfortable being outside of your safe space and having to deal with people who might, you know, be sensitive to that trigger or trigger that whatever. You know, you have to deal with it because that's your battle, not theirs. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that makes me think of like the whole abortion thing, and I don't know, like way off topic, but it's still very important.
Yeah, but it
How
affects gaming,
everybody,
like I said, like
it does.
because like with Stellar Blade, because of how people appear, looked at it, it had to do a patch that censored a lot of the sexier clothing. You know, so like it affects gaming very much. So people are like down to where games bomb because people tell them to bomb. Like I mean, Suicide Squad fucking deserved it with how that first season went. But they didn't. But preseason, they didn't deserve to get bombed like that.
No.
The preseason was pretty fun. I just think
it was
the season model, and that's why I didn't go back. But you know, and then this Helldivers thing where the game's not bombing, but it's just like because of someone being offended that they had to make a PlayStation account. I guess enough people followed behind that to where they got to review bomb the fucking game because of it, and it's very insane that we villainize these people and we just like, it's very funny because it's this thing. I forgot where I heard it, but basically the way you view somebody is like. No. The quote is like, we only allow ourselves room for change.
Yeah.
And what that means is like when someone else, like if a dude steps on your shoe, a stranger steps on your shoe and doesn't say anything and brush past you, walked away, for the rest of your fucking life, that dude's an asshole.
Dickhead.
He could be the best person ever who was just having a bad day, maybe, and he just was in his feels, and that's why that happened. And he just maybe he even fucking regrets it. He could be a lovely person, but in your mind, he is a piece of shit, and that is that is your image of that man for the rest of life. You base your whole image of him around that one interaction, and you will not allow him any room for change in your mind. And that's what y'all do with these opinions. You take one terrible opinion on someone, and you base your whole vision off of that. And it's not really fair to that person, especially when you're on the internet and you're only seeing like a few words of theirs. You don't even see how they say it. You just see a few words,
man.
Yeah, if you see, you just see a couple of letters they type. You don't know how they said it. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know this person, but you're vilifying them over this, or with the game, you're fucking vilifying the game over the sexuality. When in reality, that was a real model. That was a real person they based that character off of. Why are you saying that? What if that wasn't their intention at all? You know. Yeah, you forget the game's also Japanese. The people have a different body standard over there. Maybe that's the standard person. You know, we're a bit bigger in America. We got to admit that. You know,
we are
like
a lot bigger.
Yeah, like but people nitpick these little things, and then like their whole perception is based off of that, and they nitpick the negative ones. So, like we said, negativity triumphs. You know, it's like people love it. We're addicted to trauma.
Yeah, trauma sells. You're addicted to trauma. Yeah.
Trauma, sex, and nostalgia.
Hey, the big three. It's funny he mentioned the Black Wakaya because I really have a lot of admiration for the Black Wakaya. I think I've been watching him for like since I was 13. And he gets a lot. He got a lot of hate back in the day. Still does, especially from like certain like hateful viewers or like different content creators. Because one thing he's not afraid to do is like he'll speak the truth. He's always gonna speak the truth. He's gonna do his research about something and he's just gonna tell it how it is. I know a lot of people got offended when he was like, because a lot of people were saying gaming is dead, but then these are the same people that play Call of Duty and 2K all day. You know, nothing wrong with it, but don't say gaming is dead, right?
No, yeah,
it's true, right? He was like, yeah, it's dead because you don't play it. You don't play games, and he was saying that shit, and everybody was attacking him. He was like, look, he's like, how can you sit here and say that gaming's dead when we're getting some of the best content we've seen in years? You're just not playing it. Like, you don't want to expand your horizon. And I completely agree with that. I'm like, look, y'all are too comfortable on your current games. Like, don't form an opinion outside of your bubble when you haven't even seen it. Like, gaming is not dead. And that's why I say that shit sometimes because it's funny. It's like such a funny troll statement. Like, yeah, gaming's dead when there's so much fucking content out these days. Like, between indie games, AAA games, like even AAA games, it's just pumping the content out. Like this year, we didn't think there's going to be a lot of heat. There's been a lot of heat this year, you know?
And not just that, but like even with the bad games, you can still have a good time and a good experience. Like
You
like with
can.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide
Going back
Squad.
to that, not a great game, but
It's
did
not
we
a
have
great
fun
game.
doing that shit?
We
Yeah, we
did.
had
We
fun
had
for like the
fun.
first week or so. We were hooked to that shit.
Yeah.
You know, so even with the bad games, you can have a good experience. It's just like more or less, is it worth full price? And it's like, yeah, that's where the conversation takes a trail. So that's why you got people to review it for you and see if it's worth buying it. But even still, like there are plenty of amazing games worth the full price tag that
100%.
you can hop into. You know,
yeah, 100%. And I think it's just these opinions. They really it's just funny, man.
Another thing about people saying gaming is dead, is that they're consuming a lot more than they should.
Yeah.
Or they're consuming a lot and they're complaining about it. It's like if you're sitting there playing the same game for like fucking 4+ hours a day, of course you're gonna get sick of it pretty fast. You're putting in a ton of time into it, you know? So it's like we consume, and it's not just gamers, but as a whole, we consume media at a much faster, bigger rate now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, dude, like you gotta realize that like we need to give them time, you know? Because it's like you go through the shit pretty fast. Like content creators are beating games the day before they come out.
Yeah, that's insane.
You know, what people are reaching max level in the battle pass within the first 48 hours. Like people are speed running video games, getting to end content, getting metas. Like,
and you miss out on a lot of content like that, man. Rushing it.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, we consume the content really quickly. It's like you got to realize that like you got to either slow down or be okay with having the same content, you know, consuming it, you know, and just having the same shit because you just like it so much, you know, or just go to a different game and then come back to that. That's like, it's crazy because that's what seasonal models promote. A seasonal model promotes playing the game for like a week and then swapping to something else and just, you know, if you're coming back before the season's over to finish up, or could just come back during the new season to try new shit. You know, you don't have to continuously be on the same game 24/7. You can very much take a break.
You can
do another game.
I found that with myself, like, because I was playing Overwatch a lot, but I started to hate it, obviously, because I'm playing it so much, and so I'm playing. I'm like, all right, let me expand my horizon. You know, and sometimes when you do that, it can make gaming as a whole seem boring. It's like, damn, I'm so bored. I don't want to play anything. But it's like, no,
you just hop on the same thing every day, and
hop on the same thing. Yep.
You're burning yourself out.
Exactly, and that's why like I had fun when I tried, you know, Destiny again. I'm like, man, this feels fresh. It feels renewed. I'm actually, you know, enjoying this. You know, then again, it goes back to that whole mindset thing I was talking about a couple of weeks ago too. Like, I'm never against the game, and I'll never knock a game because how I feel about it one day, I might feel totally different about it the next. Like Destiny, I tried it, you know, sometime last year. I wasn't fucking with it. I put it down after like an hour. Now I'm liking it. I want to get back into it. I want to play it, but it's that same thing, you know, with every game. And I think a lot of people, they don't give themselves that leeway. They just think like what you were saying earlier. They form an opinion off of a negative experience at first, and then that's it. They run with it. And like they don't want to give it any more shot. That's what they're gonna think about the game. The game's trash. I hate it. This is that. They'll never pick it up again. But if you're in a different mindset, you know, a few months down the line, a few weeks, a year, 2 years maybe, and you try it again, you may like it. And that's how we was telling that shit to Striker about, like, you know, Ghost of Tsushima or Red Dead Redemption. Like, just try that at a different time when you're in a different mindset and you're actually willing to, you know, put in a couple hours to it. You might like it. You might not, but you might, you know.
And not just that, but people have to realize that their opinion is not the golden rule. You not liking it does not make it bad. And you liking it does not make it good. It is your opinion. And like you said, someone else who doesn't enjoy it, they just don't enjoy it. That's their opinion, you know? And you know, you can't change that for them. So I don't know why you're so bothered by it. It's one of those things you gotta accept, you know, agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. You know, it's just now unless someone's talking out there, you can't change that regardless. If someone talking out there, you can't change anything anybody's saying. But if someone's talking out their ass, you know, kind of like what Rain said, a lot of people sometimes they just, and what you said, a lot of people just they're waiting for their segue so they can just speak, but they're not listening to you. Yeah, I find I get bothered sometimes about people just making an opinion about something and they never touched the game. They never played it, never even looked into it. They just heard what somebody else said about it and they ran with that. Like we saw that a lot with Suicide Squad. And I'm not gonna beat that dead horse, but I don't like when people form opinions based off something they've never experienced. Now, if you're coming to me, you actually played it, and you say like I don't like this, and you give me reasons behind it, or you ain't got to give me reasons, but I seen you played it. All right, I respect that. Fine, you know what? It's not for you. I'm cool with that. But when you go, oh no, I hate that shit. It's ass, this and that. I'm like, I look at your shit. You don't even own the game. You never played it. You can't even tell me nothing about it. It's like, was that how you feel, or is that how somebody else feels? So I think that whole mentality is very annoying to me. It's very childish, but to each their own. You're still entitled to your fuck ass opinion. So, on to the next. Back to the news a little bit. Halo Infinite has decided it's getting its own version of Helldivers 2, and they're calling it Helljumpers, and it's going to be a June launch. So this is a Halo version inspired by the success of Helldivers. So not sure how that's going to play out, but yeah, I guess you can look forward to, I think, some type of beta testing in June. Conversations about Lara Croft are actually heating up for a possible return. I don't know about y'all, but I was actually a big fan of Tomb Raider. And that was actually one of the very first story games on the, I guess, next gen consoles. Was PS4 back then that I actually played. Because I don't think I didn't play it on the 360 or the PS3, but I'm a big fan of Tomb Raider. I'm pretty excited that the conversations are getting heated back up for the return of Lara Croft. I actually liked her adventures, but this time they're talking about bringing in an open world, and it's going to be fully open world. Of course, it's been 6 years since the last Tomb Raider, and I think that was the definitive edition. And so there's been a lot of talk about Lara Croft getting introduced into this fully open world with a bunch of locations inside the map. Obviously, they got traversal options, both on land and air, and I think that'll be something cool. I think I've heard that players have been getting fatigue of open worlds, but I'm actually a big fan of open worlds. I think if an open world game is done correctly, I think it's. I don't see any problem with it. I mean, especially when they give you that option to either
I don't understand that. What do you mean you're fatigued of the open world? You don't have to explore it. You can stay on the main path and just do the story. I don't know. I think, maybe like you said, they're just sick of it done poorly.
Yeah.
In which case, like, if it's done poorly, I just don't do the side content. That's what I do. If I don't like it, I just don't do that type of side content or at all, or just don't explore. Just
I actually prefer open world games. I think if it's done, especially if it's done correctly, and there's a lot of good content in the game, I prefer it. It makes the game longer. It's different than just going to the main quest. I like open world games. I really do.
Like, I think like a linear game can make for like a better overall experience, but an open world game makes for a better replayability and like longevity and replayability. So it's like, which one do you prefer? Because like like something like The Last of Us is amazing game play first time through, right? But then after that, it's repetitive. Even the special shit, you know what's gonna happen, And so it's like it's a great one time experience, but versus something like Ghost of Tsushima, where if you replay it, you can get lost in open world again, and like stuff like that. So it's kind of like what you prefer. Both are great. It's just that's another opinionated thing, another preference of what you like better. And then once again, like the bad ones can make the whole side look bad.
Yeah, they do. And I say a lot of games these days are coming out open world. Like I said, not a bad thing. I like it. I think, but like I said, linear games, they give you that kind of fresh, new feeling, especially with games like The Last of Us. They're very surprising, especially that first playthrough. But like you said, that replayability is kind of limited because you know what's gonna happen. I mean, unless you're going through like trying to get some trophy hunting or something like that, there's really no drive to play it again. Probably you'll play it again like maybe 5-10 years down the line, but when that nostalgia kicks in. But up front, you're not just gonna go back to that game. But open world, expands your horizon a little bit, allows you to get like a lot more longevity out of it, replayability. So I'm a fan of these open world games, and I think Tomb Raider would actually benefit from being an open world game. For those who've actually listening that play Tomb Raider, it kind of feels like it should have been an open world game, but that was back in times where that genre wasn't very popular back then. Like everybody was just putting out linear content.
You know what it is too, bro? These gamers aren't real gamers. They don't be gaming for real.
They don't play games.
You know what are my favorite things to do whenever I beat a horror game?
What?
I love to go to the trophies because it on PlayStation.
Oh, see the percentage of who got it.
Yes. And like, because like the thing that makes it so great is that typically horror game trophies are tied to linear story progress. That's typically how it goes, right? So like chapters or like, checkpoints, boss battles, or whatever. So you can like go down a line because they're in linear order and like basically see the amount of players who fell off as the story went on. I love doing the Resident Evil games. You can do it every single fucking time. And like it's so crazy. Like you'll get to the first trophy, which will be like just one chapter in. You'll be at like 80%, like a 20% drop off of like the first hour of the game, bro. First hour or two of the game. And then the real gameplay starts, they stop holding your hand, and it will drop to like 50% or lower, dude. Like actually, let me I could show this. My
That's
PlayStation
funny.
is on right now. What's the last? Which Resident Evil game do you want me to show? Because I
do 4.
4. Okay,
Yeah.
bet. Yeah, let's see. Because that shouldn't be too far.
It just shows you like people don't like challenge, man. They get
Yeah,
challenged
they
and like
don't.
I'm
They
gonna
don't.
drop that shit
Oh
off.
man, with Elden
Go
Ring.
back to
Okay, so
something
like
comfortable.
yeah, so like
Elden Ring's
Resident
great.
Evil 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first one. Let's see. Okay, yeah. The first one was Rescue Ashley, right? Which happens in like the first chapter. Wait, no. Wait, no. That's not. Let's see. Okay, Resident Evil 4 is kind of different. Let's see. Defeat Del Lago. That's like the first boss. 74% of people did that.
Damn, so that
The
means like
next
almost
boss,
15%.
next boss down to 69. Let's see. The next boss down to 61. Next is down to 59.
A lot of fall off.
Let's see. 58. Okay, 58 defeated the final boss. So like a little over half people beat the final boss. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it has a fucking okay. So 6%. No. Let's see how many people. Oh yeah, 45% of people completed the story on standard or higher.
Damn,
So
standard?
so less than half of people beat the game on standard.
Damn.
Yeah, if we're talking about hardcore, 19% of people beat it on hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to show you people don't play games, but they'll be the first one to complain there ain't no games though. There's some games out here. You got
dude. This Elden Ring is so serious.
Oh yeah, I already know
Only
that
56% of people beat Godric, and that nigga is like the second boss.
They put that shit down like me.
Like Striker.
Yo, Striker is wild for fighting that one dude for 6 hours straight, bro. It couldn't have been me. That's a whole quarter of a day.
Oh man, it had beef. It had beef.
You know that one guy everybody's imitating,
Hey.
He got a scream coming up for Elden Ring. He said he's gonna scream the whole thing in one sitting.
Oh, one sitting?
Oh yeah. He apparently a 100-hour stream, boy. He is not beating that game in 100 hours, dog.
No, sir.
Nah.
No, sir.
Did he even beat Red Dead 2?
No.
I know he streamed that.
He started streaming it?
I remember at some point he did. I don't know.
He did stream it, but I don't
think he doing it. Like in 100 hours, I don't think he doing it, bro.
Nah, hell no. Kind of tying into PlayStation a little bit, man. Sony pisses me off sometimes. Okay, one thing I was talking about the other day is I admire the way Game Pass is set up, especially the way that they set up their exclusives. They offer them day one. I think that's very rewarding to your players, especially if you're paying into a subscription service. PlayStation players pay into a subscription service. And we got news that Horizon Zero Dawn is leaving PS Extra May 21st. Now, this can mean a couple things, right? Obviously, players have been pressing the developers to make a remaster of Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, this goes into a whole nother conversation about, I don't know, man. Like this, I think this mindset of wanting a remaster just because we're on a new console, it's not even new anymore. Just because we're on another step of a console is so stupid. Horizon Zero Dawn released in 2018. Its graphics is pretty much on par with its graphics and performance is pretty much on par with Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Forbidden West, for all you don't know, is a very, very gorgeous game. It's probably one of the most gorgeous games to ever release within the last 3-4 years. It was very, very, very fucking gorgeous. It's probably industry standard. Horizon Zero Dawn is no sleeper. It's almost on par with Horizon Forbidden West. I have my opinions about the Horizon series. I think it's very boring, but nevertheless, a lot of players enjoy the game. I'm not going to deny them that, and it's gorgeous. I'll give it that. But two things here. The fact that it's leaving PS Extra bothers me because it's a PlayStation exclusive game. I feel like, and I know Sony won't do this, I feel like all PlayStation exclusive games should release day one on their subscription service. I really do. It's $160 subscription for their mid tier. If you're paying $160 a year for a subscription, I would expect to get some day one releases. Fine, it's Sony. We know they won't. Okay. Can we get it 6 months later? No, we won't. Can we get it a year later? No. Last of Us Part 1 released. Was that the beginning of 2023 or end of 2022? I think it released at the end of 2022, right? The remake. It's still $70. A game that they redid 3 times. And it's like, no, 4 times technically, because they put out Last of Us. They did a remake of it on and then they did not a remake. They put it on like a PS4 version. Then they did like a remaster of it, right? So then they did a remake of the game, and it's like these games. Last of Us Part 2 is not even on the PS Extra, for the subscription, and it's like, why? What is preventing them from doing that? And I'm thinking about it, money, right? Because now them taking off Horizon Zero Dawn. We know a remaster of this game is coming because the studio's been hinting at it for so long. I don't think it needs a remaster. No, it doesn't need a remaster. Players just want it because they just want remasters of every fucking thing. The shit they'll vouch for a remaster of Spider-Man 2 probably by like 2 years from now.
Because like you said, everyone playing old games. They don't want to play new shit. They want to play something they're familiar with, they're comfortable with.
Yeah. It's annoying though, because now what they're gonna do with this remaster, they're gonna sell it at full price. And you know what people are going to do? They're going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no improvement. They're going to have some better ray tracing. You're going to get maybe some better shadows out of the game. I mean, it already performs at 60 frames. So I don't, maybe you'll get 4K 60 out of it. A lot of people don't even have 4K monitors unless you're playing on your fucking 4K Roku TV or some shit. I mean, like, you're going to pay full price for a game you beat. A game that was free on PlayStation years after it came out. By the way, I mean, they made Horizon Zero Dawn free, I think in 2022, and that was right after Forbidden West dropped. So they waited till their sequel dropped before they released their first one on PS Extra. And that's the shit they do. Like Spider-Man 2 was coming up. So what did they do? Oh, they made Spider-Man 1, not the remaster version, just the original one. That didn't need to be remastered in the first place. They put that on Extra. Then they put Miles Morales on Extra. And I only know this because that's when I first played them. So I'm like, I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for Spider-Man. I'll play it when it's fucking free. And so I played it. And then Spider-Man 2 drops. What do they do with the Spider-Man games? They took them off of Extra. And I'm like, why are y'all taking y'all exclusives off of the platform that people are paying a subscription for? And then you're releasing, like, I ain't even getting to the PS Extra games. But you got fucking FC24 release. They're all releasing May 7th. You got FC24, Ghost Runner 2, Tunic, and you got Destiny 2 Lightfall, right? For PS4 and PS5. So you providing with PlayStation, it's a hit and miss. It's a hit and miss for a good game to drop. And I feel like they release more indies, which is fine. There's a lot of good indie games out there, but it's just not competing with Xbox's Game Pass. It just doesn't. I feel like for such a meaty price every year for a subscription service, we should be able to get these PlayStation exclusives on the platform. And if you actually go back and look at the PlayStation exclusives on the platform right now, there's everything that dropped before 2020. That's just unacceptable in my opinion. And then they release it after people have bought it and played it. Like, I guarantee you Last of Us Part 1 will probably touch Part 1 and Part 2 will probably touch the PlayStation catalog when we start hearing about Last of Us Part 3.
I believe it.
Yeah, and they do that because of the marketing, obviously. release it on their subscription service. They'll let you play it. They're eventually gonna take it off again, but they'll let you play it. You buy Last of Us Part 3. You know, a couple years go by, people will be asking for a remaster of that shit too. Like they're already they asked for a remaster of Part 2. You played Part 2.
That's insane.
Very gorgeous game, right?
It is. Like, it's top of the line gorgeous. I don't understand what they want to be done to it.
But they got a remaster.
Where, like, it's just like an obsession with like having the latest greatest thing, you know, like you said with the 4080. It's like you don't need that if you have a 40 anything realistically.
Yeah, you got any 40 series, you don't need
that. You just want it because it's the latest greatest, and like everyone's bragging about these minuscule upgrades that the average consumer honestly wouldn't even know. If someone didn't promote what the difference was, you wouldn't have any idea.
Right. And like, oh my, it's for gamers especially. Like, it's for, like when I was building my PC, I was looking through Reddit. I swear, nonstop, every subreddit, like you need a 4090 to play at 1440p. You need a 4090 to get over like 100 frames. I'm like, that is impressive. That's so like it's a $1,200 graphics card, but since it's so rare, it's like you're paying $2K for it. That's the price of a full build PC, a full build, decent fucking great rig for a graphics card. And so I don't know, it's just I was looking at it and everybody's just talking out their ass. And I'm like, is this more of like I don't know what the monster is. It's just more of like the FOMO shit we was talking about, or is it based off facts? And of course I was asking like Rain and Striker and everything like that and getting opinions from them, but I'm like, I end up getting a 4070, and from my own experience, I'm playing at 1440p and I'm getting like 170 frames out of most games I play. I'm like, and that's a fucking $500 graphics card. I'm like, why would I sit here and pay $1,500 more for a graphics card? I'm not going to see that major improvement. Now, I get it, if you're trying to play at 4K, you're trying to maximize everything. 4K, you want to play 4K, you want to play at like 120 on 4K. Yeah, you might need that motherfucker, all right? Because your shit ain't going to, you know, lower tiers ain't going to really push that. But these niggas would do that. Like motherfuckers try to play at 300 frames, but it got 170 refresh rate on their monitor. And I'm like, you know, you're not seeing it, right? Like your monitor can't keep up with that, but they don't understand it. And they're like, my thing about it is especially like with those PC parts, man, off topic, but if you're not a content creator, and I mean like a video editor, you are not going to see any difference in these graphics cards. Like these beefy ass graphics cards are for like me as a video editor. I understand like the difference between these higher tiers. You're not going to, as a gamer, you don't need it. These are for people that are making money, creating content on these video creating apps or using applications like Blender to 3D render. You know, applications that need, you know, these either top tier of the line graphics cards or multiple graphics cards in their rigs. You don't need that shit. Do not spend $2,000 on a fucking graphics card. But that was my fucking rant. But yeah, tying it back all to that shit, man. Like, just wanting to have the latest and the greatest is just such a deteriorating mindset to have, especially when it comes to gaming, because we're getting remasters for things that we just shouldn't be getting remasters for. Like Last of Us 2 did not need a remaster. All it needed was an update. It needed a PS5 update, maybe, just for faster loading times. That's it. The only thing that really sucked about that game was the loading times, because people played it on, you know, on a SSD. It just needed an update for the PS5 so it can run on this SSD. That's it. That's all the game needed. It didn't need a whole new remaster. And they sold it at full price for those. Well, if you owned it previously, you can upgrade for $10. Fucking scam, because it should be a free upgrade regardless. But whatever, $10, not that big of a deal. But if you didn't own it, you're paying full price for it. A scam.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same shit they're gonna do with Horizon. And I'm just pissed off with it. I'm like, the game, any PlayStation exclusive game that's over 2 years old should just be permanently on their tier list, their subscription list. Like, if I'm a PlayStation player and I have their subscription, I should be able to go through their catalog and play any exclusive that's older than 2 years old. I just should. Like Xbox, you can do it. Yeah, I don't understand why PlayStation just can't adopt that same concept. And I get it. I mean, their player base will spend the money, and that's why they don't do it, because they will spend the money on a game. And it's just, I don't know. To me, I'm way out of that mindset. I'm not paying for remasters regardless, unless I'll pay for a remake. I won't pay for a remaster these days, because it's just a scam. It's a scam. And the remake depends on it too. Like I said, with the Fallout series, I would generally encourage a remake of those games, especially 1 and 2, just because obviously 1 came out, I believe, it was a PC exclusive, and that shit came out in like the 90s, and people didn't have PCs back then. So a lot of people didn't play Fallout 1 and 2, I hear. But a lot of people got into it with 3. I guess that was the game that boosted its numbers and really like set the franchise, put it on the map. So I would like a remake of, you know, any of the Fallout games, or if they want to sit there and make a new one, that's fine too. But since the show is such a success, and we're supposed to talk about it too, since the show is such a success, I would like to see games like that get a remake. You know, genuine older games, you know, games that didn't have the same technology that we have now, but these games that released within the last, you know, I'd say what year is it? 2024. The games that released within the last six, even 8 years, depending on the game, don't need a remaster or don't need a remake, because the games, they're kind of using the same technology as today. Like especially games that drop within, you know, the last 6 years, was that 2018. It's just not necessary. You know, these games aren't really, you know, anything better visually or performance wise than they were back in 2018, 2020. So I don't know. It's a money scheme, and it works. And I think that's what pisses me off the most, is like the player base feeds into a lot of that scheming. But then we'll complain about it too. You know, like when Remaster of Last of Us 2 came out, all on Twitter I saw like how people were like, they were hating on it, but then these are the same people buying it and playing it day one. I'm like, okay, well, you know, you're the problem, but whatever, I guess. Keep complaining. Whatever. But touching on Fallout, I guess you didn't finish it, right? You're on like episode 6.
Yeah.
How you feel about it though up to this point?
I'm loving it so far, you know. The cinematography, the story they got going on, like really just the nods to the game and the series and the lore. It's all feeling really great. And it has gotten me to want to get back into the game a little bit.
Yeah, it makes me want to play it. I'm not gonna lie. It makes me want to play it bad. Like I really enjoyed it. I ended up finishing it, and I'm not gonna spoil anything for anybody on listening, but I really enjoyed the series. It definitely makes me want to play the game. I think it's just very well put together. It's probably one of the I don't know, it's good television. I mean, we've been having some good television this year, and I'm all for it. I'm all for good television. I guess when you finish that, we can drop a little review on the complete season 1. But other news before we start closing out the podcast, we got a new Avatar cartoon is in the works, and it has been confirmed. No release date has been confirmed, but the next Avatar will be an Earthbender. Pretty excited for that. I know people have their opinions on Korra. You know, it bothers me a little bit. I have a little emotional ties to Korra. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm a little biased when it comes to Korra. I love Korra. She's my favorite Avatar. Huh? What was it?
What?
What'd you say?
What you talking about?
Oh, okay.
Soft.
Yeah. Who's soft?
Korra.
Come on now. Korra fought the most difficult enemies. Korra fought more difficult enemies than Aang. And I stand on that.
Really?
Zahir. That boy was Zahir alone. Zahir alone was shitting on Ozai. I think Zahir alone could have took out Ozai in a heartbeat.
Oh my god, you talking about the chick that got washed by earth bending?
Look, we're not gonna talk about season 4, bro. We don't talk about season 4. That season should not have been made. I don't know what was going on with the writers. Korra was gay
in the dungeons.
Look, well,
after she reawoke in her avatar state, she was still losing.
She lost the connection to the past avatars.
Oh my god!
It wasn't that strong at that point.
No way.
Oh shit,
man. I mean, it was cool, but like, nah. I think Aang was him.
Aang was that guy, man. But Korra, bro, she get too much hate. She was fighting all these powerful enemies. Like, look at Amon, the bloodbender who could take your bending away. That's crazy. Took her bending away. The only way she defeated him was through air bending. Like, taking bending away through blood bending is so powerful. Aang was even struggling with him. So he went to the Avatar state and handled his business. But
wasn't she a water bender from birth?
Yeah.
And she just let a nigga walk up and blood bend her, and she the Avatar.
All right, so the next Avatar is going to be an Earthbender, and he has no connections to the past Avatars except for Korra.
Back to him. Well done.
Oh shit!
I wonder what they're gonna do, man. I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited. I just know if we lined up Cora versus Aang, who would win?
I think Cora would take it.
You're tripping.
Cora with the past Are we talking about if they both had the full power of the Avatar state, Cora Aang could take bending away. Damn.
Hey, man, I'm gonna let you get to this.
I forgot about that. Damn it.
Closing argument.
That boy Aang taking bending away. That's next level shit. Yeah, Aang got that one. In terms of raw power, Cora wins. But in terms of like experience, Aang gonna come out on top. He gonna come out on top. I mean, he broken, bro. He can take your bet in a way. That's just not fair. That just ain't even fair. But another thing I saw was Kevin Feige. Actually, I saw that he advised against Hugh Jackman. I guess Feige. How you say his name? Feige or Feige?
Feige.
Did you end up looking it up?
I mean, they say it in the trailer all the time.
Do they really? Okay, well, Feige, Kevin Feige. We all know who he is. Kevin Feige. Y'all know who we talking about. I guess he advised Hugh Jackman against returning to the MCU. He commented that he said that Hugh Jackman had one of the best endings with Logan, and I actually agree with that. I don't know how y'all feel about him returning. I think the Deadpool movie is gonna be a good movie. I'm gonna go see it. I think it's gonna be great. I love Wolverine. I don't mind seeing him on screen again, but I feel like it kind of takes that feeling of closure away when you see a character die and they bring him back. You know.
It does. It's a cheap tactic.
It is.
Isn't that why like people stop watching The Walking Dead? They get like faking, you know. Yeah. Like it's just because like it's really permanent to kill a character off in a series, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like and if that character was popular, they just have such an urge to bring him back, like they want to bring back Robert for Iron Man and MCU. Yeah. It's like they just can't let popular characters die because they're money, they're cash cows, right?
There's cash
Same thing for animation too, like the Joker's and everything because he's such a cash cow.
Yeah. And don't I'm a huge Robert fan. I'm a huge Iron Man fan. Like I go back and watch those movies probably like at least twice a month, just replaying them because of Iron Man. But I don't think Tony should return to the screen because he had one of the most emotional endings in the MCU, and just to kind of like shit on that and take that away from everybody is kind of it's definitely a cash grab. I think the same thing with Logan. Like I love Logan. Like that was a great movie. It's a great standalone. It was a great ending for him. I think they should have focused more on X-23. I really do. I really think they fumbled the bag a little bit with that character because I think she would have been a pretty solid character for the for FX or the MCU now that everything's bundled in. I think if they implement her into the movie, she could have a really great storyline and she could kind of carry a little bit on her own as far as the mutants go. But that's just my opinion.
I don't think they wrote that off yet.
No, they didn't write it off for sure, but there hasn't been any mention of her since Logan, you know, and I feel like that's kind of, shitty a little bit.
I think that's because they fucked up with that like that New Mutants thing.
Yeah. That's
I don't know if you watched that, but because they like those kids were supposed to be the New Mutants when they crossed over the Canadian border.
Yeah, they were supposed to
start that series, but then they did that other thing because they had already had that shit in the works, and that shit was kind of weird. We never talk about that movie, so it's like I don't even know if niggas seen that shit. But
yeah, I saw it, and that's a good point because in Logan, when they crossed the border, they were supposed to be New Mutants. That was supposed to like. I don't know. I really thought they were gonna branch something over that because Logan's a really good movie. I mean,
it is
a really fucking good movie, and the ending, Hugh Jackman had, and he said himself he wasn't coming back, and now he's back, and it's like, I mean, all right, does anything really mean anything these days in these movies? Like, shit, that was emotional as fuck for me, man. Like,
it's just I don't know, because money over substance, and message. Like they can't leave him alone when it's the best thing to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm a firm believer. Tony's Robert's coming back. I don't think. I know they've already been trying to offer his role again to him, and I think he's been turning it down. Because he feels the same way that Feige feels however you say his name, about that. And I think it's just disrespectful to the fans, you know, like you got Tony, this character that started the MCU, you got this character that really put it on the map, and we saw this whole just kind of like 10+ year adventure of, you know, the Avengers, Tony, Cap, all these guys, and it's like we finally got, that's like them bringing Cap back, you know. Like we had so much closure with Cap. He got old. He started life with Peggy Carter.
They are.
They are.
Yeah, he's scheduled to come back for the Secret Wars in 2025 or some shit like that.
Why?
No, then he has a movie coming out, Brave New World, right?
No, that's Falcons and new cast.
Oh.
But that just shows they don't have trust in their new cast. Like they don't have trust in the new characters that they're supposed to be establishing. And a lot of people think it's because it's like, oh well, these characters aren't popular. It's not that. I mean, like when MCU started, those characters weren't popular. It's just bad writing. Like they don't have good writing.
I mean, it could be that, but they could also be trying to do like the MCU comic book thing where they're bringing multiple timelines and different things into it. Which I mean, like a lot of their movies are, you know, a lot of their movies haven't been taken very well, as in the Marvel series. I know y'all talk shit about Captain Marvel all the time, but a couple of her movies, like they segue into those plots. Like at the end of the Marvels movie, which I don't know who's really seen that.
I didn't watch that yet.
Yeah, they like the chick that I was saying could smash somebody. I forgot who we were talking about, like Magneto or something like that, because she can like. Basically, her shit's electron based, like her power, some shit like that. She transfers into a different timeline. Like yet again, we see something like that, or it's like a parallel universe. She goes there, and she's working with the X-Men, and like her mother is Storm, but her mother's not her mother, and she doesn't know that. And you know that's where that cliff hangs at the end. But a lot of motherfuckers ain't see that or see any developments like that, because I think they're trying to do that. Like they're trying to connect, like get the comic book thing, but it's just so much shit that happens in the comic books. So many different things at the same time. So many different audiences you're trying to entertain at the same time.
And that's fine, because I know they started integrating a lot of this stuff with Multiverse of Madness. You know, it's a great concept. We knew it was coming, but you still got to write it in correctly. You can't just throw it in there. And we're still on this confusion and shit about with Kang. You know, like the direction of Marvel is very iffy right now, and I don't think that the fans really mind, you know, their intent behind it. But I think the problem is their execution. Like Marvel has slowed down its production on a lot of its movies. And I think it's because Disney finally realized, well, Disney's been fucking Marvel since day one, but I think Disney is starting to realize, hey, we're losing a lot of our support. We need to slow down. We need to actually figure out what's going on. And I'm glad they're taking that break, because a lot of the movies that we were supposed to get, like Secret Wars and all that stuff, was actually, the timeline was next year, but it's been delayed. Rightfully so. I'm glad they're doing that. They actually rewrote a lot of the script for Brave New World. So it seems like they're listening. Like, hey, we're getting some negative feedback on this stuff. We're getting some bad responses. We need to actually, you know, get this back on track, because I don't think it's a big problem to introduce these new characters. I'm not against being in tune with these new characters. I love Marvel. I'll watch anybody on the screen. I think it's great, but I won't watch something that has bad writing. I won't enjoy it. I knock that the most, you know, because you can have great characters if you write them well. Like when they introduced Wanda Maximoff, I think that twist on those, and I think they should have kept Quicksilver around too. But I think that twist that they did with Age of Ultron, kind of like created their own little backstory with Wanda and Quicksilver. I think that was a pretty good implementation, and I ended up loving, you know, Wanda Maximoff. I actually like her character in the role she plays in the MCU, you know. And so I think, you know, with new characters, they can be established correctly, but you gotta write them in pretty well. I think the only problem with like, I know a lot of people had a little question. It was questionable about like the Marvels, all these female leads and stuff like that. I think a lot. Some people are truly sexist, and we see that a lot in the industry. They truly are sexist, But I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. I don't know if it's bad or not. I don't know anything about it. I just haven't watched it. But I know a lot of people have their comments because I don't know. It's just about some. Whenever there's a black lead or a female lead, people always got something to say about it, and so I don't really like listening to those. But I do notice that's a trend.
That's another one of those scenarios though, where it's like there's people. That's the people in the extremes because the place they're coming from isn't horrible. Because I get it too. Like when I watched the Marvels trailer specifically, I remember I saw in the trailer there was a point where like I guess this couple was being attacked in their home and the superhero was there, and like the husband cowered on the floor while the wife picked up something to try to defend him. Like they do demasculate a lot of men oftentimes, and so it's like it's not about the uplifting of women, it's how they do it, because they do often and not in a lot of these shows and times they uplift the female lead by downplaying some favorite superhero. Like they do the same thing for Echo. I heard. I don't know if y'all watched it. I didn't, but apparently, some point you know who Echo is, right?
Yeah.
So apparently, at some point in the show, she fights Daredevil and wins.
What?
Yes, apparently, like don't quote me. Look it up. Yeah, look it up. But like, yeah, she fights him. And apparently she makes quick work of him or easy work of him. And it's like,
couldn't be my man.
Yeah, and it's exactly because it's like, bro, these are characters that people, know and love. Characters that work for their shit. And like, and that's another thing. Oftentimes, not the characters are given their powers, which is like, instead of having to earn them, which is, more of a personal gripe. You don't like that sort of character. A lot of people often don't. But you got to be fair. Like, I don't like them characters sometimes. Like, I don't like Superman too much for that reason. I think he's just too OP. But
he's OP as fuck.
Yeah, so like in the character, like examples of like the Marvels, like Miss Marvel, exactly. Like her powers are kind of handed to her. She doesn't work for them, and then now that she's like the strongest in the universe, she flaunts it as if she worked hard for it or went through trials and tribulations for it, which she didn't in comparison to these other heroes that she's dogging on, and that's the kind of thing that
there's no character development.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that some of the men hate on, but they just like express it in that very extremist wrong way. But like they do have a point because they do often demasculate men for the sake of uplifting the women, and it's like, bro, you can uplift the female characters without having to do that. It's the same. Another perfect example, and it's crazy that all these examples coming from the MCU. But She-Hulk with Hulk, remember that whole thing where she put down Bruce.
Insane.
And it's like that's what happens, but just on a bigger, more movie-wide scale, pretty much, And so I understand why men don't want to support that, because it's like in that case, it's just more of a scenario of that movie's obviously not made for me. Then that's made for women, and the thing is,
women don't watch it.
They're not going to go out and support. Exactly, it's like the WNBA. I know it's meant for them, but they're not going to go out and support you.
They don't watch it. Like the fuck, man. Like this is a man dominated fucking continuity for real. Yeah, it's
man dominated area, and it's just like because of that, some of the things are gonna cater to men. Like Stellar Blade, right?
Yeah.
Most men play video games, so why wouldn't they want to cater to men to have a good looking women? But then like people come in and it's an issue, and that's why we have shit like what happened to MJ Spider-Man 2. Like it's just like it's very unnecessary.
It is
in order to protect people's feelings or to have a be representative in this war. This shit has to happen.
I think we're in a time, and we've seen this within the last decade, right? We're in a time now where a lot of these companies don't want to do what they should do, and that's follow their heart, especially with their writing. They want to do with what they think people want. So that's why we see a lot of this LGBTQ kind of forced integration in a lot of things where it just doesn't matter, or we see a lot of trying to push this agenda that, hey, we need to have like a core black cast or a female lead and stuff like that. Like
I don't think it's just that. I think it's also like it's the people in charge, because companies have to meet diversity quotas. Which
that's fine.
But it's very insane because like they're hiring people not for what they can bring to the job or for their talents and skills or anything, but purely based off of like, oh, it's a minority, yes, we'll take them in. And because of that, that's when you get the people in charge who believe that like that kind of stuff is more important than the substance of the actual media they're creating. You know, like fucking like a lot of people are blaming what's happening in the things on what Kathleen Kennedy. Remember that whole thing?
With who?
Kathleen Kennedy, the Disney exec.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how South Park made the episode on her. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like her, like her putting I forgot the director, but she's putting a certain director in charge of the Star Wars movie, and I think it was the same director for was it? I don't know if it was the Marvels, but
yeah, it was
stuff like
it
that.
was
Putting those people in charge, and then they
yeah
their prime directive is the message that they're putting
yeah
behind the movie, and that's why they put so much focus on it.
yeah.
And it happens so often.
Oh my god, you're right about that, dude. Oh yeah, she is gonna be the director for the new Star. Oh my god, Star Wars just can't catch a break, man. It just can't catch a fucking break. Please make a good fucking movie. Oh my goodness.
Didn't
Oh
you
my
hear
god.
when they leaked the supposed like what was gonna happen in the movie, the overall plot?
With Ray?
Well, like yeah, with the new series.
Nah, I ain't seen no
So
leak
like
shit.
this is a while ago, so I'm maybe missing this, but apparently Ray was gonna she was gonna have a goal to restart the Jedi Order, right?
Of course.
And be the first, master and teach. So she finds two young students worthy of learning the force or whatever, a young boy and young girl, and apparently the young girl is gonna like have like an innate potential and outshine him, and she's gonna be the lead, and that's how that's gonna go. And
Oh, okay.
when that leaked, a lot of the dudes had a problem with it because it was like, hey, what, like, why even have like, and it's crazy. It'd be the second time they had a dude lead just to push him to the side with a female lead anyway.
Yeah.
They did it to Finn, bro. Wasn't Finn supposed to be the Jedi? He was like, nah, not
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. That was that. Yeah, Finn would have been a great Jedi. I think he showed just so much courage, and I don't know the whole thing with like I like Rey. I don't get me wrong. I fucking loved her character. I just think they did it wrong, especially like at the end where they brought Palpatine back. Why? Why is Palpatine still
They don't want to
relevant
write
right
new
now?
shit.
Right,
They
write
don't
some
want to
new
write
shit.
new shit. They don't want
And
to.
they're like, oh well, yeah, she's actually my relative. What the fuck are we talking about, bro? Like, if why is she a fucking why is she related to Palpatine? Just why? Like that it makes no fucking sense. I would have rather her had been like a descendant from Obi-Wan. That would have showed like something. If you're gonna have her be a descendant of anybody, have her be a fucking descendant of Obi-Wan, not fucking Palpatine, man. That really bothered me because I was just so lazy. This was so lazy, and these were the same writers that left Game of Thrones to go make that movie. I'm like, why did you? No, that was no. And this new director's coming into Star Wars, and this whole agenda shit. It bothers me because you can still push an agenda, and it's all about balance. There's no balance. They're just overdoing a lot of the stuff. And I think that's what bothers me most about it. Like I'm fine with you being diverse. I'm fine with diversity. That is, I actually support it. I encourage it. But you don't have to go overboard with it. This is still comic book stuff we're talking about. Like let's focus a little bit more on the comics and not necessarily physical comics, but let's focus more on the geek shit than we do focusing on this, trying to make a statement shit. Like I get it. You got a lot of this audiences watching this and they want to look up to some, but a lot of people don't go to the movie theaters thinking like, oh, well, I hope they have like a 50% of the cast is black, or, they need at least 30%. I need to see at least, two main gay characters. We don't go to the movie
That's
theaters
another
thinking
thing
this.
I feel like we gotta like work on ourselves on. Like you can't like it's because people feel the need to see themselves in the things in the media. And I feel like sometimes it's important to be able to like take yourself out of it and look at other people for the way they live. Because that's the point for real, to lead other lives, to see how other lives are and understand and see that from their point of view. So like I don't think everything needs to be from your point of view as, and agree with your life views. I think it's important and great to see other point of views and other lifestyles and other people that you may not have even experienced before, But people need to get outside of themselves when it comes to that. And like, oh no, well, like I can't identify with any of these characters. And it's like, bro, that's okay. Just find one and like identify with them because you like it, bro. Like my favorite Overwatch character is Genji. I'm nothing like that motherfucker. I don't know. I'm nothing like that. But like, so like you can find things to identify with in media and characters outside of, personally aligning things. And that's something that people need to work on. And that's why the representation is pushed down so heavy, because people will refuse to see it if there's no, which I understand, right? Like, like, let's say it's just random spitball. If you see a movie trailer and it looks good, it could look like a nice movie trailer, but if every single one of the cast is like, say like white women, would you think you'd want to go see that movie?
Probably not.
Exactly, because you don't see that it's marketed to you. So it is important to have a little bit of representation. So if they had like if there was like, it doesn't have to be a black dude. Like if you just saw a couple dudes in the movie, then it'd probably be easier for you to say, oh, maybe I would want to go see that.
You feel more comfortable seeing it. More, you can relate to it more.
So like, but it doesn't need to be pinpoint accurate like these people are requesting. You know what I mean? And
like I don't want it to be the focus, like you can like I said, you need balance with everything. You don't need to have it the focus, like when I'm tied back to Korra, bro, they made a lot of that focus on her like developing a relationship with Asami. Like they wanted to push this whole, lesbian agenda on a kid's cartoon. And I'm like, why? How about we focus on the fact that she's the Avatar, like it's fine. You can make her gay, whatever. I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck. But the focus is not that. The focus is the, that she's the Avatar. She needs to be, doing X, Y, and Z. And it's the same thing with like a lot of the content we're just seeing today. It's just, there's too much focus on the political, not enough focus on what's actually at hand. And that's the movie, the show, the characteristics of this person. You're not defined by your sexuality, you like, let's bring out some character traits. So I don't know, this is what I'm touching on about that.
It's just, and things like that, it can just be done very poorly, because like it would be no issue with revealing like a sexuality thing if it had some ties to the story itself,
of course,
but they just throw it in there just because they can, and that's different. And that's just why it's like they do it unnecessarily.
Like Black Panther. That's why that movie's done so well. It's black culture, obviously. It's in Africa. Like, I mean, a lot of the shit, the stuff in the movie took the nation by storm. It gave black people a sense of pride, but that wasn't the only focus of the movie. I don't know. So that's just my little spiel on that. I do want to touch upon your thoughts before we close out on the upcoming. Did you see Daredevil? The show?
No.
Oh, you didn't see him. Okay, but they were rated R shows. The Daredevil and the Punisher, they were rated R shows. I think Daredevil was the first. It kind of like tested the waters on rated R content with Marvel. Did extremely well. Took on about like 5 spinoffs: Luke Cage, The Punisher, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Defenders. So it did extremely well. Obviously, we see the rated R content with Deadpool. Did extremely well. Rightfully so. And I think catering to those mature audiences really is a good turnout. Now, the only thing I bring this up is because Daredevil started off as rated R, and obviously Daredevil Born Again, which features, it's a continuation of Netflix's Daredevil, which is now owned by Disney. It continues off of that, but it's pushed back to PG-13. And so now I'm wondering how that's going to affect the show, especially with characters like the Punisher, right? Because the Punisher, he's the Punisher. He doesn't. Yeah, he don't just beat people down. He kills them. He bashes their skulls in. He's very brutal, So I'm wondering how they're gonna tie this into a PG-13 environment when you've based your whole, like, the definition of your show on mature content. And I think with those characters, it makes it better because, one, it makes them more realistic. If we're watching, it's more realistic to look at superhero content and see like the darkest moments, right? Because that's what these heroes are doing. They're always tied in these dark moments, especially when it comes to like with their villains or just developing their character development. So I don't know. I feel like it's a mistake to revert it back to PG-13, trying to bring in that younger audience. I think it's okay to have a mature audience, and stick to that. So I don't know. I just feel a little iffy on having PG-13 content, especially with those characters, because the Punisher is very brutal. I don't know how that's going to turn out. John Bernthal, who plays the Punisher, says that, he has faith in it, but I guess we'll have to see when Born Again comes out. I don't have too much high hopes for it because I just don't think that content works for PG-13. I just really don't, especially when you're so used to seeing it being so mature and just rated R and raw. But we'll see. Obviously, I don't have much trust in Disney right now anyway. But y'all don't have anything. Y'all got anything to say before we wrap up?
Just on that maturity thing, yeah, I see what you mean. And like, I do think we need to like keep it. I think it would be better if it was kept rated R since it just has been that way the whole time. But I mean, yeah, I don't know, because it's like, do you really want to separate those superheroes from like? I guess you wouldn't want your kids knowing about the Punisher on one hand, but on the other hand, it's just like,
don't watch it. Don't have them watch it. The adults still want to see it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
like, parents these days don't be controlling what their kids be watching.
They don't anyway. These kids play GTA. So, like, what are we talking about? Like, let them watch some Punisher. I mean, shit. I mean, you do what you want to do with your kids, right? But there's still an adult audience that is that wants to see this content in a mature way. You know, we're adults now. We don't really want to see kiddie shit. We want to see blood, gore, some realism in it.
The audience has grown up.
It's grown up. Like, the same thing with these cartoons. Like, a lot of people advocate for, you know, not having it, super mature, but, you know, upping it a little bit. Because, like, with the Avatar audience, I know with this new show, they want it to be a little bit more mature because the core audience that has been there for Avatar, shit came out in 2005. You know, we're all grown now. We were kids then, but we're all grown now, and its core fan bases are adults. Like, we would love to see something like more mature out of it, you know. And so that's just my spiel on that. But all we can do is see. Rain, you got anything?
No save rounds from me.
For sure. And none from you, Razor?
Nah.
Yeah, this is a good ass episode. Shit. All right, wrapping up today's episode. We want to thank everyone who made it this far into today's show. All we ask for your appreciation is for you to spread the love by sharing the podcast with a friend. And while you're at it, go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating on supporting platforms. This helps the algorithm promote our show, which helps with bringing in new listeners. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see y'all next week. Peace.